Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Ask a Scientist Gaming, where we combine mediocre gameplay with expert science. I'm Ken Hansen, professor in the Department of Chemistry and Biochemistry. I'm a photochemist slash photophysicist. I shine light on molecules and materials and figure out what happens to that light energy. Try to do useful things with it, like move electrons around for solar cells or make and break bonds for photosynthetic chemistry. But more importantly, joining me today is Tahila Nugiel. Tahila, if you wouldn't mind introducing yourself.
Yeah, I'm Tahila Nugiel. I'm an assistant professor at Florida State in the psychology department, and I'm a developmental cognitive neuroscientist. So I use functional MRI to study kids' brains and teenagers' brains. And I'm really interested in how kids do things like read and do math and how we allocate our attention to do those things. So a lot of my work is focused on understanding kids who have things like ADHD and learning disabilities.
Awesome. What do you typically teach? What's your go-to class?
The only thing I've taught so far at Florida State, I've been here almost 2.5 years, is undergraduate child psychology.
Nice. All right, equally important, what game are we starting with?
We are starting with Inside.
So Inside, this is a game for, I guess it's PC, Steam, PlayStation 4, and this is, I don't know if you want to give people a context or you just want to dive into it.
Yeah, well, the game doesn't really give you a lot of context. So a little kid, I think a little boy, kind of dropped in the very spooky woods, and there isn't a whole lot of things I can do besides kind of try to go forward. And there are some sinister things out here to get me, and I'm kind of just trying to make my way to something, but we don't really have any context as to what's going on.
So does this count as a horror game? Is this supposed to scare you, or it's just dark?
Think so. I mean, it's pretty spooky, and I think I've played a little bit of it, and I think things get weirder as you play, so maybe heading to the supernatural. So, but I haven't played it a lot. So see, there are some men on a truck who I'm supposed to avoid, or I might get shot.
So when you die, you go back to a certain save point, or how does it work?
Certain save point.
Huh.
Yeah. There's some dogs. I think it's kind of spooky there. There are some, at some point in a bit, we'll come across some like mutant looking pigs. So that's when you start to get a sense of like, see here some guys with flashlights who are trying to, I gotta wait for them to go by and run on. No. Oh, see. They're gonna, yeah.
That's dark.
Yeah, it's pretty dark.
Oh no! And you were worried about GTA.
Yeah.
Opening with this.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's fun though. That's appropriate for the Halloween season. I mean,
It's definitely spooky.
yeah.
So it felt like it'd be a
So
good
are you
fit.
a gamer that like turns off all the lights and you're going to submerge in this world, or?
Oh, definitely not. It's like gotta be, if I'm watching a scary movie, I don't really play many scary games, but if I'm doing anything scary, it's like lights on,
Yeah.
maybe some music or something else in the background so that I don't get too sucked in.
That's fair. Well, you are in the right place because we have blaring lights in our
Yes,
faces while playing this. So unfortunately, it's messing with the contrast. It's a little washed out, and
Yeah, it's, is it hard to see behind?
for them it's fine. For us, it's just a
Oh,
little light scatter.
it's okay. If I get shot a couple times, we'll be all right.
How'd you stumble upon this game?
So I don't play a ton of video games, but we have some good friends who do. And most of my like video game playing in the last few years has been with them. So
Oh, nice.
my friend Manny showed it to me at his house, and I got kind of sucked into it. And then he was actually the one who convinced me to buy a video game system. So I bought a Steam Deck recently, and when I told him I was coming on, we talked about some games that might be good to play, and he suggested I try this one. All right, I think I'm supposed to get a running start.
So you play these with your wife, or you're the lone gamer?
My wife and I play some games together. She is really into a game called Overcooked, where you are preparing food and serving it to people at like a restaurant. And so you have to make dishes quickly, and I think I'm supposed to drag this thing. And serve them to people. And it's kind of ironic because we'll make dinner, we'll clean up dinner, and then we're like, okay, let's like sit down and serve people food.
Yeah. Housework the simulator.
Let's do some more chores.
That's how they get you.
Yeah.
Yard work simulator.
But it feels like a nice team building exercise.
Say, well, the follow-up was, have you guys played Portal or anything like that together? Like
No.
True teamwork. So Portal 2, if you're familiar with the game, you have portals you go through and do different locations. It's basically this continuous puzzle game where both you have to work together to solve puzzles.
That sounds fun.
And the other follow-up I'll have on that is It Takes Two. You heard of that one?
No.
It's a very
I've heard of the Olsen twin movie, but
yes. It's the opposite of that because it's a movie about this couple who's getting divorced and the daughter wants them to stay together and she wishes that they will, and they turn into dolls and you essentially go through the games troubleshooting. It's amazing. It won like Game of the Year 3 or 4 years ago.
Oh,
but
wow.
My wife and I played it, and Debbie's not a gamer by any means, but it's just every level has a new mechanic and each of you have like one shoots the goo, explosive goo, the other one ignites it, kind of thing. You just strategize. Oh, wow.
yeah, just a little blow dart.
Is that a trank?
I think it
gun?
is.
Oh, man.
That sounds cool though. It Takes Two. I will.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll probably
Check
follow
it
up
out.
with those because it's
Yeah.
Because they have a follow-up game to it. It's called Split Fiction, where you have
I think I need to just wait for them
Let's
to
see.
pass.
save state is right there.
Yeah, it's right there.
Yeah, they have a follow-up called Split Fiction where a sci-fi author and a fantasy author get sucked into a world and they have to play through their respective genres, basically. And the same idea, new mechanics playing throughout the game. I do not have that one yet, but I should get it. It's on Steam. All right, so we've had a little bit of time to settle inside. And somebody on YouTube is going to be
Can't tell
out to
if I
death.
have to wait or run. I'm gonna try running this time.
I love the trial and error scientific method behind gaming. All right, Tahila, so we start every stream with the same question, and it's a question I think is really important because most of our students think we were destined for this job. Like we knew from day one we wanted to be professors, and this is all we thought about all day.
Sure.
Presumably, 6-year-old Tahila did not expect herself to do functional MRI on cognitive disorders of children, but here you are, playing video games, talking about this on stream. And so the question is, what was the journey between 6-year-old you and now? Like, there were major milestones, major forks in the road. In retrospect, they're obvious, but at the time, they weren't necessarily. So what was your journey to where you are today?
Yeah, so I know your last guest was a professor of social work, and that is actually where I thought I was going to be headed as well. So
Wow.
when I started undergrad, I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to do something working with people, interested in helping people. And that's kind of where I was at. And my mom's a social worker, so she suggested I do social work. And there were programs where you could get a master's if you worked for family services, which is, probably one of the hardest roles in social work. And so that's what I kind of set out to do in undergrad. And I really didn't like it that much. I found it to be really unsatisfying in a few ways. I was really curious more so about like, why do we do things this way? And kind of more of a why as opposed to how do we implement these things. And I also found that it seemed like it was going to be really emotionally taxing. And I asked some of my professors about that, and they were like, well, you kind of really learn to compartmentalize those things. And I just wasn't sure it was for me. So after doing a few internships and taking a few of the classes, I decided to switch my major to psychology. But one of the internships I did was at a Head Start school, which is like preschool, pre-K for underserved communities. And I actually spent a lot more time in the classroom, and I became really interested and really had a good time there. So I was like, okay, maybe I'll teach. And, I didn't think I wanted to be an early childhood educator, but I was like, maybe I could teach high school or something. So I explored that path for a little bit, but what I was really interested in was what now I can call, individual differences in cognitive development. But working with the kids in the classroom, I was kind of like an aide to the teacher's aide while I was there. And, some kids were learning their ABCs and super chatty and super talkative and super engaged. And some kids were really not. And I just became really interested in, why do some kids have certain outcomes? Why are some kids developing, okay, I think I see what I need to do here, along different trajectories. And at the same time, I was taking some classes. I took a learning and cognition class that was really interesting. And I then took just like a research methods class, but it was taught by a neuroscientist. And he wasn't a cognitive neuroscientist. He was like a fly guy, but there we go.
Nice
Okay,
move.
keep going. Ooh, this guy's like right behind me though. But he brought some cognitive research into the class, and I was like, this is the most interesting thing I've come across in, any education setting. Whoa, dogs.
Out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So that was the moment. That was when your addiction started. You can pinpoint it exactly.
Yeah, that class and that plus the experience in the classroom, I was like, okay, I think I want to do something with studying kids' brains. Okay, now pause here. And all right, now I think I just gotta run, not stop. So then I'm sort of at the end of undergrad at this point and trying to figure out, okay, how do I do that? How do you do cognitive neuroscience? How do you study the brain? And there we go.
Oh, hit it.
Okay.
GG's. Feels like the stakes are really high in this.
Yeah,
You feel the stress of.
I think so. Ooh, did I die? Okay. Oh, just drowned. Okay. Just drowned. Right. The controller was buzzing in my. Okay, so I can stay up the surface, but I'm guessing these men are going to probably shoot at me. Yeah. Yep. Okay, so I'll just go. Oh, wow, they got me though. Okay. So we got to get this timing right.
All right, sorry. You're still going on your journey.
Yeah. Okay, so end of undergrad, I want to study the brain. I think I want to study kids' brains. So
Got you in the water.
I kind of heard, I went to a panel that my college was putting on about kind of post-grad stuff. And someone's like, oh, PhD, like if you want to do research, you do a PhD. And I said, okay, sounds good. So I applied to some PhD programs. Those applications were successful because I didn't really know what a PhD was or what I should be talking about, right? Like I didn't really understand what research was. So
In psychology, you get accepted into a group, right? So you have to be.
yeah, you have to be pretty specific about what it is you want to do. You have to, I mean, it's really useful if you can demonstrate that you've done research, thought about research, that you're kind of ready to go. And I wasn't. I was interested, but I didn't really know what I was talking about. So I ended up finding a master's program. There's a cognitive neuroscience master's program, which is pretty unique. But that gave me lots of great background in cogneuro, but also a chance to work in a lab there. This is at the University of Texas at Dallas. And I worked in a lab there using EEG to study language in kids who were like 6 to 16 or so, and some adults. And I really loved that, but I was learning a little more about fMRI, and I was like, I really think I want to try this fMRI stuff out. This seems really interesting. So then I moved to Philly and worked in a lab at Temple for a couple of years, doing fMRI work in adults, studying things like memory and social cognition. How do we kind of represent people and information about people in our brain? So the work was really interesting. Oh yeah, so I'm going to start to pick up some little friends here. The work was really interesting, and I really liked the fMRI aspect of it, but I knew I really wanted to do work in kids and language and reading. I kind of became interested in reading as well. And so I kind of put all of those things together and decided I was going to apply for PhD programs again. And that time it worked.
Yeah, so you had a directed target, somebody you wanted to work for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so then I went to do my PhD at the University of Texas at Austin with Jess Church, and it was great.
And you were doing functional MRI for your PhD?
Functional MRI. Mm-hmm. And I hadn't really thought about ADHD at all. I think I have to pull this thing first. In terms of research until then, but she was starting a study looking at ADHD right when I started my PhD. And I just became fascinated with it. It is such a interesting, common developmental challenge, but is so different across every person who has it. And so that became one of the main focuses of my PhD, along with reading and kind of reading interventions. Maybe you have to walk away. Oh, I wonder if I have to pull this and then pull that. No.
So this seems very open, but it's just a 2D side scroller. It's like you either walk or stop. But
yeah, which is kind of nice. I don't have a lot of space I need to explore. Like, the things that I need to do are pretty obvious. I just kind of have to figure out
it's like
how to do that.
It's beautifully
okay,
designed.
there we go.
It seems like it's more open than it is.
Yeah, like I can't really, the up and down controller doesn't do anything. It's only left or right. But it does make you feel like you're in a bigger space.
So that's just an action button and a jump button, and that's...
Yeah.
It's pretty fun. All right, so graduate work, functional MRI, started talking about ADHD, then postdoc, UNC Chapel Hill. What'd you do there?
So more functional MRI work, more so focused on ADHD. I got to work on a really cool data set looking at kids who were medication naive, so never took any stimulant medication before. And for the study, they scanned them one time on a single dose of methylphenidate or Ritalin, and then one time without it, to see just that one acute dose, how does that change the brain?
That's intriguing.
Yeah, so, and got to work on that study and a couple of other studies. I worked there with Jessica Cohen, who's a big network neuroscientist, as is Jessica Church. So I've had a lot of awesome Jessicas. That's my kind of academic legacy.
Lineage.
Yeah.
The Jessicas.
The Jessicas, yeah. It's like everyone's got to find themselves a good Jessica.
I like it.
Okay, I think I'm supposed to get these guys sucked up in here.
Top Trike, thank you for joining us. First time chat. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to Ask a Scientist Gaming. Hey folks, here chill while I study. Awesome. What are you studying for? Let us know in chat. Maybe we can help you study. Quiz you on various topics outside of psychology and chemistry.
Oh, yeah.
Can't guarantee they'll be right, but we're happy to ask.
Yeah.
Kamakozu, thank you for the follow. Thank you for joining us. Ask a Scientist Gaming, mediocre gameplay. Thank you for joining us. Doing a degree in math and physics. Oof. Depends what flavor of math and physics. Condensed matter physics that might be able to help. Math, I don't know.
Okay.
Like, I had to do the math, but I don't necessarily use this math on a regular basis. Kamikazu, that's crazy. I'm studying while listening to.
Oh.
Thanks for making me look
It's that time. It's that time of the semester,
Yeah,
for sure.
exactly.
I have an exam in my class tomorrow as well. So you're all in
What was my number today?
good
It's,
company.
in terms of lectures, 22 down, 16 to go, I think is what I have a calendar at the start of every single lecture that shows where we're going.
Are you, there we go. Yeah. You, Monday, Wednesday, Friday?
Yep. And general chemistry too.
Ooh, how big is your class?
248 students.
Okay.
I'm only in my first month, just started on the 6th. Oh, that's interesting. Order system? Interesting. But anyway, thank you for joining us. Our guest today, Tahila, she's an expert in cognitive neuroscience, particularly functional MRI, looking at developmental disorders in children. Is that fair? Developmental disorders? Is that proper nomenclature? In terms of describing like dyslexia, ADHD, anything that you can pinpoint. But yeah, looking at those with functional MRI, trying to correlate, behavior to action to brain patterns. So if you guys have any questions, throw those in chat. We're happy to answer them. We will just keep conversing and shooting the shit while playing Inside. If you're not familiar, Inside, child cognitive abilities being tested while being chased. Presumably at some point in this game, they reveal why you're being chased.
Yeah,
right?
I don't know. We're almost as far as I've gotten in the game.
Wow.
Ever.
That's
So
fun. We're doing a blind playthrough, ladies and gentlemen. But
so
if you
we're
have
all in this
questions-
together.
Yeah, and you can distract Tahila by asking hard questions about functional MRI and cognitive psychology and all sorts of topics. We are happy to discuss those as we progress. All right, so UNC Chapel Hill. So that's where I did my postdoc as well.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I really liked it. That was there 2010 to 2013, and then got a job here in 2013. But I really enjoyed just the Chapel Hill. We lived in Carborough.
Did you live in Carborough? Yeah.
Yeah,
We ooh, I think I have to jump over this guy. We lived in Durham, but
move, nice.
Carborough is super cute, and our good friends, the ones who really brought us into video games, lived in Carborough, so we ended up there all the time. But yeah, it's a great area. How was your transition? So you also came from there to Tallahassee.
Yeah, so I had quite the journey. So I grew up in a town of 1,600 people, down like middle of nowhere, Minnesota. Went to undergrad in a town of 20,000. Went to grad school at University of Southern California, downtown Los Angeles. And then UNC Chapel Hill, and then here. And I have to say, in the spectrum of everywhere, I do like the middle ground size of Tallahassee. Like I can own a house, I can, bike to work, and it's not too crazy. There's still a reasonable number of restaurants in town.
Yeah. We like Tallahassee a lot as well. I feel like I was in Philly and then Austin and then Durham. So I've gotten like a little smaller, but Tallahassee has a lot of charm, and yeah, being able to find a nice house to buy, and it's got a real community feel too, which I like about it. Oh, no. I don't think
And I like FSU, just how central it is to the town. And like
Yeah,
the
it's really-
community behind that. But with that said, with FAMU and TSC, and it's a big college town. I guess you were in Austin as well, which is more of a college town.
Yeah, I think it used to be. I think now it feels very like it's moving into a very tech feeling city. It's just like a lot more expensive. It's got more polish. So my wife is from outside of Austin, and she also went to UT Austin for undergrad. That's where we met. She as we've talked about how we feel like Tallahassee is kind of what Austin thinks it is, like kind of a little bit of like a crunchy college town with lots of college students, and then like the locals, but it's not that anymore. It's now very expensive and really being built up, and even everything around it is.
Yeah, it was one of those. We went to, I don't know if you've gone to First Friday before, but like
Yeah.
Railroad Square was like, it's got a very Carborough feel to it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. A little bit granola, a little bit grimy, but also.
Yeah. Agreed.
All right, Top Trike wants to know, interesting. So can I ask you if ADHD is definitely classed as a disorder? My little imagination likes to dip into a potential evolutionary stage or a generational symptom of world wars. Well, that's interesting. But yeah, let's dive into that. It's classed as a disorder.
It's classed as a neurodevelopmental disorder, but I think and there are different expressions of it. There are different subtypes of it, but it is classed as a neurodevelopmental disorder in the DSM.
In terms of contextualizing this potential evolutionary stage. So there's a casual definition of evolution, which is like something that makes you better. But the reality of evolution is, do you have more babies? And if so, that's an evolutionary advantage. So is ADHD any evolutionary advantage in that context?
Does ADHD have an evolutionary advantage? I mean, I don't know, but I think you could think about lack of inhibition in some contexts as giving you an evolutionary advantage. Lack of inhibition in social contexts, potentially.
I mean, the counterpoint to that is you have to live long enough to reproduce, right? And like life expectancy is shorter for people with ADHD, if I remember it correctly.
Yeah, I mean, I think that is, on average can be true, but I think it's confounded with other things that, like the kind of job you have, health outcomes, and things like that. So yeah, I think too, I wouldn't say it strikes me as having a huge evolutionary advantage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I saw a popular news story. I didn't read the paper, but it was suggesting that autism is a natural byproduct of our brain development. Did you see that?
No,
It was
I
basically
didn't.
saying it's a consequence of our brains being so large and our processing power becoming so significant.
That's interesting. I mean, there is research linking autism to larger brain as opposed to smaller brain, like some other developmental disorders, especially certain areas like prefrontal cortex. But the link between that and kind of the processing power is interesting.
Yeah, I'm sure the popular story I read was, how they blow it out of proportion, but
Yeah.
that's curious. Amakazoo wants to know, a question for either of you. If you could go back, but you knew what you know now, would you do anything differently? Ooh, is this all of life or just our academic path? We'll narrow the scope to just our academic path. Would you change? You happy where you landed?
I am really happy where I landed. The one thing that I sometimes wonder, which is maybe a little bit of a link back to when I was thinking I would do social work, sometimes I ask myself, should I have done a clinical psych training in addition to the cognitive training, which is a lot of things to master in one PhD. But a lot of my work is, I think of as clinical adjacent. So we work with kids with ADHD and learning disabilities. We ask them questions about their mental health. We have mental health related interests, but we can't provide any treatment or have that kind of limitation. So sometimes I think of
what does that look like? That's like an MD PhD or how?
It's a PhD, but you have to go through special training, put in lots and lots of clinical hours.
I see.
You do an extra year called an internship before you get your PhD. So not an MD PhD, but definitely a whole extra layer of training.
I see. And that's like a certification, or that's just intrinsic to the degree?
It's just intrinsic to the degree, though I think you need to get licensure if you actually want to practice.
So this is not something you can do like during a year-long sabbatical or something?
No, no, I don't think so. I've known people with PhDs who I don't remember what the field was exactly, but it wasn't psychology, who have gone back and gotten clinical psychology PhDs, but it's a whole 5-6 year thing, yeah. Okay.
I, for one, couldn't do neuroscience. It seems so intricate and complex. Being a physics enthusiast, it definitely does interest me, though. I mean, that's one of the things I like most about the stream, is that there's certain levels of abstraction that each of us are comfortable with. Like, you work at a brain where it's the overall brain, or at a level where it's overall brain function, whereas I like existing in atomic space.
Yeah.
Do you ever find yourself leaning one way or the other, like much more applied end versus biology? The neuroscience program, you have a wide swath, right? You have biology, you have psychology. I mean, they're all together.
Yeah. It's interesting. I've heard this distinction made that's like, are you a neuroscientist or are you a psychologist? And I think it was Eleni, mate, she was like, am I using the brain to understand people? If so, I'm more of a psychologist. Or am I using people as a case model to understand the brain? And of those two, I'm the former. You know, I want to know, ultimately, I want to know how can we better support kids, but I think the brain holds really important answers to that.
That's really fun.
I am puzzled.
Follow-up question: have you done functional MRI on yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I can't do both. I can't both be in the MRI and run it, but yeah. I've gotten brain scans a number of times.
Is that part of the training, or that's just?
It's not a requirement, but I think it's good to do. I think, you know, we put kids in the scanner, and I think it's useful to be able to tell them what the experience is like from your perspective, and really understand what it is. You know, it is a little nerve-wracking. It is a weird environment.
And someone's banging on the wall.
Yeah, yeah. And it's just cool. I have actually a 3D printed brain of my own brain sitting in my office. So,
that's fun.
Yeah.
Who does that service? Is that a...
You just, from the MRI scans, we can create an image. You can have anyone with a 3D printer print. So we did that at UNC for one of our studies. It was a study where we were asking kids to come in for 3 years, once a year. So if they made it through all 3 years, we would give them a 3D printed model of their brain. And to prep for the study, we all 3D printed our own brains, of course, just to make sure it worked, you know.
That's fun.
Yeah.
So let's say I have a 3D printer in my lab. What would I have to do to get a print of my brain?
You would probably have to sign up for a study. And so not one that my lab is running currently, because I think you're probably a little bit out of the
Maybe
12 to 16
little too old.
age range for recruiting, but there are a number of other labs doing adult studies.
There's just an output file. They reconstruct a 3D and
yeah, and I think you could
that in.
probably let them know ahead of time, hey, I want this file, and they'd probably be willing to give it to you.
That's fun. All right, Shmonite, welcome back. Thank you for joining us again. Is there an electrical component to neuroscience? Synapse, nerve flow type stuff?
Yeah, sure. So neuronal signaling is both chemical and electrical. So it's electricity that travels down the neuron, and then chemicals that allow neurons to signal to each other. And so I don't measure electricity in the brain with functional MRI, measuring blood moving through the brain. But if you're using something like EEG, then that is essentially what you're measuring, like summation of those electrical impulses across neurons, and summation because you're measuring it from the scalp. So you're getting signal from many of them at once.
It's fun. I love the chemical component. It's just how fast thought is. Like you're diffusing molecules, and yet the signaling still happens very, very rapidly. Like discharge down an axon, that makes sense to me, right? That's electrical conductivity, but Yeah, just little molecules sending signals, and all of a sudden you're playing video games, drinking alcohol, talking about neuroscience.
Yeah. It's pretty wild.
Existential crisis, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Kamikaze. Kamikaze, I think that's it. If you had the ability / time, what major / area of study would you want to dip your toes into, besides clinical psychology?
If I had so something.
I mean, you're already dipped into social
Something
work and said
new.
no to that.
Yeah. That's a good question. I mean, I don't want to say just another branch of psychology. Let me try to think a little
Shout.
Classics. Outside of the box. So before social work, I was also thinking about, so biology, I think, could be very, sensible leap. Just keep pulling on this poor pig's tail, but I'm not really sure what else to do. I can't seem to find anything to grab into. Maybe if I pull it long enough, it'll get, I don't know. Let's just try. So before social work, when I first started undergrad, I thought,
Oh, jeez.
I pulled it off.
But no, it's tall enough.
Oh, maybe it's, can I grab onto something? No. Do I do something with the tail? No, I don't think so.
Pulling the tail off was the answer.
Yeah.
All right, sorry, biology.
Biology, I think, could deepen my understanding of some of the things I do, but I thought about creative writing when I first started undergrad, which quickly, I was like, well, what will I do? And my mom also was like, what are you going to do with a creative writing degree? But I like to write. I don't do a lot of creative writing right now because if I'm writing, it should be for science. But I think getting back into like writing for fun could be really, really fun. And I imagine it would help me write for science as well.
So what flavor of creative writing? Like fantasy, sci-fi? What's your genre of books?
To write, I like nonfiction. I like short story-ish. I had like a few longer ideas that like was like maybe this could be a book one day, but
Yeah.
I haven't thought about those ideas in a long time.
Okay. Post tenure is the answer.
Yeah. That is when I write the book.
Exactly. I like it. All right. Go Haku has redeemed Take a Drink, so Tahila, cheers.
Cheers.
Pulled off
Thank you.
a pig's tail while talking about neuroscience. We're off to an interesting journey, ladies and gentlemen. Go Haku, hopefully you have a drink in hand on a Wednesday night.
I feel kind of bad. I feel like I pulled off its tail for no reason, but I feel like there must
Can't let
be.
you do
Yeah.
that, right? Like,
But it feels like there's something I should be able to climb.
what game is this? This game is called Inside.
Oh, I can move him now. Okay.
So Inside, it's for you can get it for PC, PlayStation 4. We're playing it on a Steam Deck right
He's
now.
very
But yeah, it's just
now.
this strategy game where you're a kid that you're hunted by some guys, and you got to figure out. It's 2D scroller. You have jump, you have action item, and you have to troubleshoot how to get through these various obstacles. And so yeah, interesting game.
Do I have to move you backwards? Oh, this is probably something I should be paying attention to, right? What's this bright thing? Oh.
Okay. So
Oh, see, this is where the creepiness starts. Like I'm.
that escalated dramatically.
Oh.
So you jumped into an. Oh
Okay.
wow.
So are they supposed to?
See, Evan.
Okay.
We're gonna assume that's an ECG.
Yeah.
Controlling
Oh.
them remotely. Oh, there's more behind
Yeah.
you too.
Okay, I think I need to get them to run through. So let's see. Let's run over here. Now let's.
Oh man.
Oh wait. Can they? Maybe you guys can open. Yes. Let them out. Ooh, that looks a little heavy.
Wow. Top Trike has an interesting one and a challenging one. What's the most fascinating thing each of you have learned in your field? Like, no way, really moment. Oof, come up with that on the spot. That's, oof. What's the most fascinating thing?
The most
Man, I mean, big picture wise, this happened for me in undergrad in organic chemistry because I was a similar path. I changed majors 4 times. It was in organic chemistry that I like first introduced to this idea of, you know, controlling molecules, right? Like they're minuscule, you can't see them, but you can make 1 billion of them do what you want them to do. You can do very specific reactions. You can get high conversions to other species, and it's like. The analogy I tell my students now, not that this existed at the time, is it's the closest you will get to doing witchcraft, right? Like in terms of manipulating matter to your ends, like if you want to change the world, you have to manipulate atoms. And that's why I love chemistry, because that's ultimately what we get to do. We get to understand and control atoms. And so for me, that's the most profound thing in my field. Off the top of my head, this is pretty crazy though. All right, Tahila, what's the most fascinating thing for you? This could be a factoid. This could be like big picture.
Okay. This is a really fascinating thing that there was a paper that came out recently which kind of explored human brain development from neonate essentially through older adulthood, like 80 years old. And they took everybody's brains and they fed it to an algorithm and said, group people, right? Find the significantly different groups where this age group's brain is, this age range of brains is significantly different from this age range. And the split, right, and it found kind of, I think 3 or 4 groups, but the really fascinating piece was 4 to 80 was a group. And then there was like first few months and then like next few months and then maybe like 1 to 2. And that really floored me, you know, 4 to 80, like by the time you're 4, your brain, and this is something else that really fascinates me about the brain, is just it is so similar and has such a well-defined functional architecture, you know, across people and across time. But you know, every moment we're doing something, like, so it's this like beautiful functional architecture and all these like really, really finesse little changes. And that's just like day to day, right? That's like me taking a drink versus me playing this. But then the fact that that's established by 4, and it's sort of like, you know, even you think like 4 to 6, like so much change, so much development, so much cognitive change is happening. But, you know, the map is there and we're building it and refining it, and you know, we'll prune it and myelinate it more later, but that's just...
So that is a perfect transition to this prediction
awesome,
right here. So I'm going to pop that guy up right now.
Yeah.
Because that is a fun... And I don't think we gave away the answer, so I think we're still good.
No, I don't think we did.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't been on Ask a Scientist Gaming before, we have predictions. Twitch does predictions in general, and it's usually like game related, like will they win, will they kill, whatever, so-and-so boss. But in our case, we make our guests write questions for you guys. And so we're going to pop up a prediction for you right now. And you're gonna guess the answer. So you can't use Google, Chat GPT, whatever. You're on Ask a Scientist Gaming honor policy. Just take what you've learned from us and watching this game inside and controlling what I assume are zombies with this ECG on this kid's head. But nonetheless, I'm gonna pop up this question. If you guys are watching but not following, click the follow button. 1, because it lets our numbers go up. In fact, we're pretty close to 1,000. I think we're 13 followers away from 1,000, which is pretty incredible.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, click the follow button to follow us. You'll also get standard internet units that you're allowed to predict on things, and you can use those standard internet units, 1, for pride, because getting a lot of them is cool, but 2, you can make us take a drink, you can unlock an emote, you can request a factoid, whatever it may be. So, I'm going to pop up a prediction right now. Click the predict button at the top of your chat and answer this question. Janene23, thank you for following us. Click the predict button right now. The question is, a 7-year-old brain is what percent the size of adult? Is it greater than 75% or less than 75%? And so basically at a full-grown adult's head, we're assuming that's 100%. At 7 years old, how big is our brain? Is it greater than 75% or less than 75% of a full-grown adult? And we're going to approach this with average human adult.
Sure, yeah.
At adult age. By volume, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
By volume. What else would it be? By circumference or by volume?
Surface.
By
surface area.
By volume.
Right, because the brain is like, oh, circumference.
Does it scale proportionally? That's interesting. Cuddle Puppy, we're saying by volume.
Yeah, we're going by volume.
As if you need this exact to give an answer. Thank you. I only use ChatGPT as my lawyer. That's fair. Just double check the cases it cites. Oh, man. By volume or by circumference? It's the Monty Python. North American or African? Science question on Science Channel needs variables. Sure we do, but we also only have 42 characters to pop up a question, which, believe it or not, is really hard to do. We go back and forth trying to cut
we
down
love
questions.
Our words. We love to be really verbose. Oh my gosh. I feel like I need you all to face each other. How do we make that happen?
I don't have to double check the precedents it makes as long as the judge and opposing counsel don't. That's true. You're only risking disbarment, but that's fine. I guess you're not a licensed lawyer anyway, so it does not matter for you. All right, Tahila, what is the answer? Is it greater than 75% or less than 75%?
It is greater than 75%. So related to the fact that our functional brain organization is really well established by, early childhood, our brains are pretty much adult size by the time we're about 6 or 7, which is kind of wild, again, thinking about how much our body keeps growing. But, our brains are going to change in terms of, again, these like finessing and refining, and our neurons will increase in myelination, meaning that they're going to get wrapped up more tightly so that the electrical impulses we were talking about aren't going to travel down them faster. But size-wise, not too much growth after that, about that age.
So that was in terms of volume. In terms of like number of neurons, that's pretty consistent, the volume they occupy.
So number of neurons is an interesting one as well. So you don't, there are a few areas of your brain where you continue to grow neurons after you're born. Hippocampus is one of them. Your olfactory cortex, where you process smell, is another. But a lot of the neurons you have throughout your life are already there when you're born. So when we think about the brain getting bigger throughout early development, we're not thinking that much about new neurons. We're thinking about connections between them, new synapses, new forms of communication. And actually, we see a ton of growth in that in the first couple of years of life. So you're forming all these connections, forming, and then your brain prunes itself. It says, I don't need some of these to be as efficient as possible, right? Connections are expensive, energy expensive. So we have synaptogenesis, lots of connections forming, and then we have lots of connections being removed. And this happens early on in childhood, and this happens again in adolescence. So you have these kind of two waves of refinement that happen.
All right, Cuddle Puppy. A neurosurgeon told me I shouldn't do full contact MMA anymore because the left hemisphere of my brain was bigger than the right. Would you happen to know the logic behind that? Oof.
Not really.
Single hemisphere brain swelling, or is that?
Is that from? Yeah, I think that is the question. Is it that you've been hit? Have you had an injury to part of the brain, or is that something? Yeah.
Or do you have brain cancer in one side?
Oh gosh, I hope not.
Cuddle Puppy, is that real? That's intense.
Yeah.
I mean, is there a reason that one side would swell more than the other? I guess
I
that's
think depending on if there was an injury somewhere, depending on where it was, sure, but
Cuddle puppy. Pretty sure my brain hasn't been permanently swollen by getting punched in the face. I was always this stupid. Thank you, Cuddle Puppy. Always a treat to have you on stream. Oh man, that's intense.
can you just still do MMA, just never get hit?
Oh, that's the key, Cuddle Puppy. You got to get better.
just gotta-
have you
you just
tried?
gotta-
Have you tried getting good?
Oh,
Man.
gosh,
All right, how's the
zombies.
gameplay going?
So I feel like I gotta lift this door,
Yep.
but I feel like I need everybody to do it. But there must be some way to trick them into. But they're like going. They're all going this way, and then they're all going that way.
But they're only moving on the x-axis.
Yeah,
Just don't get hit has always been my philosophy.
yeah.
That's
there you
a
go.
wise decision.
There you go. I'm sure your neurosurgeon would endorse that.
But also, Ask a Scientist Gaming is not to be taken as medical advice.
No.
We're just sitting
yeah.
here drinking and playing video games.
Yeah.
Also, not legal advice. So be your own lawyer. We don't care. It's totally up to you.
Mm-hmm.
So they jump.
They jump. Okay. If I get you guys, and then, ooh. Okay.
How did that work?
I don't know. Wait. Oh, I think I was like holding it and still. Okay.
Oh, one of them is the whole.
There we go. There we go. Everybody's
Jeez.
playing. Okay.
Jeez.
Nice. Okay. Now, I'm assuming you'll have to pull this.
Cuddle Puppy comes to us for MMA advice. We are MMA experts. So
There we
get ready
go.
for that one. All right.
Okay. Now I think just go and kind of ignore these. I guess I'm not going to worry about what's happening, and I'll just keep going. But I think mind control of zombies is not a good sign of things to come.
I mean, you're no longer being shot with trank darts. So
Yeah, sure.
pros and
Preferable,
cons.
yeah.
Top trike. That's insane. That's an insane thought. So, am I right in thinking that we think of our brains as a solid state drive? We have the full storage capacity at a young age, but a storage area A aren't connected to B, aren't populated with data that we haven't learned yet. And so that's I mean, that goes to a broader question of software versus hardware, right? So a computer has hardware that's intrinsically written.
Sure.
And then you do the software over the top. You write to that. But brain, how are we to think about that? Or how do you think about that?
Good question. I think you could think about it as the hardware is so let's take a developmental lens to that question. You could think of the hardware as sort of the genetic unfolding, right? So that's going to happen early on in prenatal development. And then I think you could think of the software as experience creating synapses, strengthening synapses, driving synaptogenesis, and pruning as kind of the software. So I don't know if it's a perfect analogy because you're sort of changing the hardware with the software, but
It's mushy hardware.
yeah. The lines are maybe a little blurry. Okay, I think, do I just
In
push
Descent,
this?
thank you for the follow. Thank you for joining us on Ask a Scientist Gaming. We're playing a little bit of Inside while talking about cognitive neuroscience, cognitive psychology, developmental psychology, functional MRI, ECGs controlling zombies, which is
Yeah.
a fun coincidence. That was so. Have you done that part before? Or that was all new.
I think I did that. I haven't done that recently. So I'm pretty sure In Descent is my buddy Manny, and maybe he can confirm or deny, but he is the one who showed me the game. So
That's awesome. I love how you can figure out the game by experimenting. Appropriate for the combo, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's my favorite analogy to people. Like, video games are quintessential scientific method, right? Because every game you sit down with has a new set of rules.
Sure.
Those rules are not the ones that you apply to your normal world. And so the way you figure it out is experiment, whether it's Mario, whether it's Inside, whether it's whatever game it might be. It is just scientific method applied. Sometimes you figure out speed strats and run through games faster than anyone else in the world. All right. Kamikazu wants to know, out of curiosity, who are your academic idols or someone you would want to collaborate with? Academic idols. I'll reframe this. If you were host of Ask a Scientist Gaming, who would you want as the guest? And what would they play?
Ooh, good question. I'm gonna okay, so I am part of an organization called Flux, and it's not an acronym. It represents what we study. We study the brain in flux. It's a developmental cognitive neuroscience organization. It's my favorite conference. Lots of really amazing scientists. And the person who started it is a developmental cognitive neuroscientist named Bea Luna. And she is not only brilliant and has done so much foundational work in thinking about the developing brain, particularly in adolescence. She's also just such a spirited and fun and engaging person. So at Flux, we always do karaoke. That's like the thing that the conference goers do. We always find a place to do it. And she is known to crowd surf at karaoke at the conference. So I think she would be a fantastic guest. I don't feel like I know enough video games to know what to have her play. What do you based on my description? So she's like a cognitive neuroscientist, but she's got like an awesome edge to her. You know, like shit. I think she'd like throw one of these, at a talk she's really enjoying.
Rock Band. My username Rock says Rock Band.
Oh, yeah. That could be fun. How would that work with your setup?
So we can do that, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We just hook up we run a emulator called, what is it called? It's not Rock Band or Guitar Hero. Like, those are no longer serviced by the companies because it's fallen out of fashion.
Oh.
It's called Clone Hero, actually. What's really cool about that, I don't know if you ever played Rock Band back in the day.
Yeah, we played.
Clone Hero is just this third-party, like, use it, hook up those guitars to it. But people have made essentially the programming, the sequences for any song you can imagine. So not just the ones licensed,
so you can
literally any
pick
song.
the song?
Or you can make one yourself, right? You can take a song and make the sequence for it. So you can do that for drums or guitar or whatever it is. So yeah, really cool.
That's really fun. What?
My username rocks. Hi, welcome to first time chat. Thank you for the follow. Thank you for joining us. With that, we are up to 990 followers. So thank you all for joining. In Descent, my username rocks. Thank you for the follow. First time chat. If you guys have questions for Tahila, she's happy to answer them while she takes on Inside. We are almost at an hour, so if you want to keep playing or change games, it's totally up to you. Whatever you're going to have fun with, that is what we want to do.
Down to change it up. I feel like I could use some light. It's been really dark in here. I also can't. I feel like I have to do something with this object, but I
can't see
what it is, and I can't seem to grab it.
That's fair. All right, if we're going to change games, what do you want to go to?
Let's do Road Rage, Simpsons Road Rage. That was like a hit of nostalgia.
Hit you in the face.
Yeah.
Drink, are you good? You want to do more? Also I have water over there for you as well. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are jumping systems. We're jumping games. Simpsons Road Rage. Let's go into this controller.
Okay, this controller.
Nostalgia indeed.
Yeah.
Set those out of your way.
Great.
I was going to suggest Simpsons next. My username rocks. So apparently they spent this whole time trying to sign in. So maybe someone you know. But we're not going to box them. All right. All right, let me know if the volume on the game is too loud or switching between systems. So chances are it is a little bit loud. You turn this down just a little bit. All right, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. We are playing Simpsons Road Rage. Still too loud.
I want to watch TV. We're live in front of City Hall.
All right, you guys will have to let me know about the volume. We're doing our best. Mike 3822231. I'd love to know the story behind that sequence of numbers, whether it's random or whether it's relevant to something. Turns out it's a password for your computer. Nonetheless, we're playing some Simpsons Road Rage. So, Tahila, go ahead and press start. Let's dive into this one.
Here we
Those of
go.
you guys not familiar, this is one of the all-time classic Simpsons game. Like for Nintendo, there was Bart versus the Space, Bart versus the World, and then there was a lull in Simpsons game, and I think this was one of the next ones to come out, and it is pretty outstanding. It is Grand Theft Auto Simpsons style.
Yeah.
So we're gonna dive into this guy right now, and if you guys have questions, put those in chat. Tahila's happy to answer those while we pick up some people and try to make some money. We're an hour in. We should do another one. What do you want to do for prediction? So we got all those guys.
Let's do this one.
This one right here. All right, for those of you not following, click the follow button. We're going to pop a prediction up on the screen right now. You can use the internet points from your follow to gamble, essentially, depending on the degree of confidence in your answer. But we're going to pop up a science question for you guys that you can answer. And we are going to have it, this is written by Tahila on her expertise. So the question is, people who have dyslexia see words backwards. Is that true or is that false? And so I don't think we need to add anything to this question. That one's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, put your predictions in now. Right at the top of chat, there's a predict button. Click that predict button. And unlike most questions where it's just, true or false, in this case, depending on your degree of confidence, you can add internet points. It's kind of game theory. I don't know if you're familiar with this, but I would love to give an exam that uses this. Like you start with a certain number of points, and depending on your degree of confidence, you can pour on a question or less. It's like game theory kind of thing.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, I'd be curious the outcomes of that. Wait, this prediction is such a good practice question for the exam tomorrow. You don't have to reveal that answer.
Wait, who said that?
It was Kamikaze. Kamikaze.
Isn't carpooling great?
Probably your students.
Maybe, yeah. It might be. Hey, it is something we covered in this set of modules that were I'm going the wrong way.
So did you use the advertising slide? Did you get a response from students?
I did not put it up in class. I think so you put it up in class for your students?
Yeah. It's one of those things like
Maybe we have a student in common.
that is possible. But it's one of those things that like they don't know we play video games, let alone know about Twitch.
I
let alone
know.
stream on Twitch.
Think that we're
It's like we get some internet cred by. With that said, we play a lot of old games. So
yeah.
all right, 10 seconds. Get your answers in.
Oh no.
So the entirety of your audience said false.
That is good, because that is correct.
So this is one of those older misconceptions, right?
Yeah, for sure. So I think there's a lot of ideas about dyslexia being kind of a difficulty that presents itself visually. And even that has evolved. So there were, where am I going? Okay, need to go up. There were interventions that tried things like reading off of different colored paper or reading with different color tinted glasses. But I think a belief I still run into is people thinking that people with dyslexia see words backwards or see double letters. And
Switched letters.
yeah, switch
That's
letters, exactly, yeah. And dyslexia is really about how we take a word and
Oh, you got it. Nice.
map it, take a word and drop the person off, yeah. Take a word. Oh, that's it. Oh, I ran out of time. Okay, all right. I earned some money. So dyslexia is how we take a word and break it down into the sounds it's made up of. And we do that by associating letters with sounds, right? So understanding that letters represent sounds, you put those sounds together, they make up the words we know. And that's basically how you teach kids to read, right? They learn that letters represent sounds. They learn that words are made up of sounds put together. And so that's called decoding or recoding. And people with dyslexia, and that's hard for anyone learning to read. That's like a slow process that you just slowly get faster at and more fluent at. But people with dyslexia tend to kind of be stuck at that being a more effortful, more slow process. So it's much more linked to kind of mapping letters to sounds and putting them together than it is to anything visual. If you have vision problems, that would also make it tough to read, but dyslexia is not really characterized by any kind of visual issue.
I mean, so with that understanding, like you mentioned, like the color things, there's also, anecdotes about fonts matter and things like that. Like what is the modern intervention on that? How do we deal with it?
It's working on decoding. It's a lot of practice, a lot of work on mapping sounds to letters, phonological awareness, which is the process of, what am I pressing here? There we go, that one.
We don't have memory cards, so I don't know what this is going to do. So
don't save, which is
bottom button is accept.
What is the,
So
this one, don't save, yes.
Those of you confused about our confusion, we are playing on a PlayStation emulator with an Xbox controller. And it's because I couldn't get the PlayStation controller to work with this emulator for one known reason. But sorry, the intervention it's just the training of that coding.
Yeah, working on decoding, phonological awareness training, which is phonological awareness is recognizing that words like, take a word like cat as k, at, being able to break it down easily and map those sounds to letters and put them together. So it's just a lot of work and practice on that decoding training.
Top Trike has a follow-up. Could it potentially be linked to a lack of internal monologue?
Interesting. I am gonna throw that back at you. What are you thinking in terms of that? So if we don't have an internal monologue, it's harder. Like your phonological awareness might be slower if you don't have an internal monologue. Is that what you're thinking?
That's an interesting question.
It's an interesting thought. I don't know of any links to that, but
it blew my mind. So I've always had an internal monologue.
That's also just a really hard thing for me to picture.
Like there are just a certain portion of people that don't have that internal monologue.
I know.
That merits a functional MRI study, right?
I think so. Yeah, I definitely know of work, and I think these things, I don't know if they go hand in hand, but a similar area is like visualization. Like when you picture something, when you're remembering something, do you see it? Or are you just like thinking about it in a purely abstract, non-visual way? And there are definitely individual differences in that. And I just was looking at a study recently that was looking at is an fMRI study of identical twins, one of whom visualized and one didn't.
That blows my mind. That like there's levels of visualization too, right?
Sure, yeah.
You could say triangle and someone pictures the word triangle, or internal monologues triangle. Some people can picture a triangle. Others can make a triangle, rotate it, make it three-dimensional.
Yeah. So you said you've always had an internal monologue. Are you a visualizer?
Yeah. That's why I think chemistry spoke to me, because like you can put the molecule in your head, rotate it around, left-handed, right-handed. And it's like, and I learned a Rubik's Cube pretty quickly. I mean, I followed some other rules, but it's one of those three-dimensional visualization of positions and things. And so not being able to picture a shape in your brain is something that's hard for me. And something I wrestle with too, because like I teach classes now.
Yeah.
Not everyone thinks like me. So how do I deal with that?
Is that something you talk to your students about?
I don't know how to, and it's a class of 250 students.
Right, so you can't actually.
I get the Gaussian of all human behaviors, and of 250, right? Mm-hmm. So there's of those 250, we have probably 20 with ADHD.
Yeah. Something like that.
Something around that range. Now I'm picturing a zebra print A. Angelina Davis, Dr. Henson, I was watching your YouTube lecture before joining. Awesome. Thank you for watching the YouTube lecture and joining us. That's 2 wins tonight for you.
Great.
It's on the screens. What the fun part about the YouTube lectures is you can do them at 2x speed. You can do them at half speed. You can watch them, rewatch them, whatever you want. Enjoy the experience. You get Ken on YouTube.
So are these for the class you're currently teaching?
Yep. Yeah. So I have like a 20-minute pre-class video, and then I do and that's like nuts and bolts, right? Foundational terminology and concepts and relationships. And then I do a 10 to 15-minute like context-based lecture, like why this matters, why equilibrium matters, why pH matters. And then we just do active clicker questions in class. And that's my active learning format.
That's a really awesome setup.
Yeah, I like it. It's more engaging than the traditional lecture, just me spewing the entire time. And,
Yeah.
And
I do a lot of spewing.
it's hard. It took me like 4 years of active compiling content to be able to do this. So you can't do it over a semester. It needs to be accumulated. But yeah, it's really fun. And my favorite part is, I've done like test analysis, like item response theory, Roche modeling of outcomes. And so after this semester, I have 3 semesters of active learning versus 5 semesters of traditional lecture. And I get to see how the outcomes actually change. So
Wow.
I'm curious. I'm wondering how that's going to change. But let me catch
that's
up on a
exciting.
few of these. So Angelina Davis, thank you for joining us. All right.
Hey, your rating is.
What about dyscalculia? Is that a real thing? This is Acid Dancer.
Yeah.
What is dyscalculia?
Dyscalculia is similar to dyslexia. It's a specific, so dyslexia is a specific learning disability for reading, and dyscalculia is a specific learning disability for math. It's, I think, less well understood than dyslexia for sure. It's less studied. It's definitely less well mapped from a cogneuro perspective. And it's, yeah, and it doesn't get diagnosed as frequently because I think there's the kind of threshold for dyslexia, isn't incredibly well defined, but it's better defined. You can kind of start to pick out kids who are having trouble reading, but there's a lot of, stigma and ideas about math, being good at math, not being good at math. So I think identifying a true math difficulty like dyscalculia is a little more challenging. This button, yes, I don't want to say.
Is there dyslexia for chemistry? Because I think I have that. Hopefully that's not
no.
true.
Yeah, sometimes things are just challenging
Yeah.
to learn.
Well,
Yeah.
we talked about that earlier when we were talking about levels of abstraction and how
Right,
you
yeah.
think about the world versus me. And chemistry is one of those things we don't think about the world in terms of atoms. Like atoms don't follow the same rules as Newtonian physics, right? You don't just throw an atom and it behaves the same in gravity. And so I think it's a counterintuitive thing, but once you start to grasp it, it becomes awesome. At least for me, it has been. So hopefully it comes together for you. And that's one of the unfortunate things is you don't appreciate Gen Chem until you're a PhD chemist, because then you start to see how it ties together, how it's all related, and
Yeah.
it bridges across chemistry, biology, geology, oceanography. Yeah. King Willie, welcome back. It's been a while. King Willie says, I love this game. So this is a popular
Awesome.
choice.
Yeah.
Well done.
It's I mean, it is just a lot of fun.
Man, that is.
I'm playing as Marge. Oh, I gotta pick this person up. Oh my gosh.
And King Willie, I met in person at First Friday,
Great.
actually. So, King Willie, welcome back. Thank you for joining us. Always a pleasure. If you have questions for Tahila, she's happy to answer them. Talking about cognitive neuroscience, particularly children, and you study, what did you say, between 8 and 12? Is that the age range?
I study kind of 8 to 18. Right now, we're doing a study that's focused on high school students and kind of the transition to high school and sleep. So the current study we have in my lab is kind of 12 to 16. But I've done 8 to 18, and we have some new work that we're going to be getting into looking at infant brains. So I'm excited about that. So
Infant brains.
yeah.
So parents just volunteer their kids, put them in a tube, and
Yeah. Yeah.
how do they respond to that? Have you done any of these?
So I haven't, and this data set that I'm going to be working with is already collected, which is
Oh, nice.
Super
Okay.
nice for me. But yeah, I mean, how do the parents respond, or how do the infants
How
respond?
did the infants respond?
So what you usually do is you'll have like a rocking chair essentially in the MRI room, and you have the parent put them to sleep. And
Oh, I
in
see.
general, you usually do it when they're sleeping. There are some really kind of, I'm going to call them pioneers, who are doing awake kind of task-based experiments with babies, and they like have them, they swaddle them, but they have them in their awake, and they have them kind of like looking at, with babies you're usually measuring sort of like how long are they looking at something, can they tell the difference between two things, and they're doing that while they're in the MRI.
I want to know the functional MRI of like object permanence.
Yeah.
Like it goes away and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
brain shuts
Yeah.
off. Like done.
It just goes totally dark.
That's
yeah.
amazing. I don't know how. There's no more contrast.
Yeah, I think they're doing some of that, like, I don't know if object permanence, but they're definitely kind of like memory. Wow, I just wasn't able to pick Ned up. Sorry, Ned.
King Willie wants to know, so is waking up and going to school at 7 a.m. actually healthy or not? Oof.
King Willie, that is the question. And I think the answer is no. I mean, I think that it's not ideal. We know that teenagers, so I guess when we think about school, you could think about this at any age. And I think when you're younger, I think it could be fine. But when we're thinking, so here in Leon County, high school starts at 7:30. And so the kids that I'm bringing into my lab right now, I'm asking them, what time did you get up today? And they're saying like 5:30.
That's crazy.
It is. And we know that teenagers have less of something called sleep pressure, which is your body's kind of like pushing you to go to sleep. So they just feel awake for longer in the day. There's also lots of logistical and social things that are driving teenagers to stay awake. Homework, hanging out with friends, talking to friends, right? Phones, things like that.
Back in the day, it used to be TV.
Yeah.
Shows you wanted to watch.
TV shows,
Came on,
sure.
yeah.
I stayed up super late when I was in high school, and I started high school at 8:30, and I still was late all the time and super sleepy. And so they want to stay up. They want to go to sleep late. They need sleep, right? There's this big wave of brain development that's happening during adolescence. So this idea of pruning, like there's a big wave of that going on. You're also getting to a point in your life where you're at sort of your highest risk of developing a mental health problem. That's like that really kind of, if we look across kind of all mental health problems, the kind of peak age of onset is about 14 and a half. So like right when you're starting high school. So thinking things about like anxiety and depression. And so there's someone who studies Mary Craddockson, she calls it the perfect storm, where they need sleep, they're not going to go to sleep early, we're making them get up early and go to school, right? At 7:30 a.m. you're expected to be in your seat doing something
Ready to take a
tough
test.
with your brain. Yeah. So I think this is something that is not good. And we have some evidence that when you delay high school start times, you see things like better grades on average in districts. You also see things like fewer car accidents, because less sleepy teens driving to school. And so in Florida, they had a law that was passed in 2023 that was set to push back high school start times to 8:30 at the earliest, like across the state. And I thought this was really exciting, and I was excited to look at what kind of difference it makes, right? So we know
just
it
across
helps
the
with
board.
grades, but what about things like mental health symptoms, and what about the brain? What does your brain look like if you're trying to do math, if you kind of have to start, if you're kind of chronically underslept or not? But that law was actually reversed
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was reversed this year. It was supposed to be implemented for the 2026-2027 school year, and they reversed it.
That was presumably just a logistics and cost thing.
Yeah, for sure, right? If you're going to change, so right now in Leon County, it's like high school starts at 7:30, elementary school starts at 8:30, middle school starts at 9:30. So not only are all these things happening, but here in Leon County, you're going to high school at 9:30, and then you're changing to, middle school at 9:30, and then you're changing to start high school at 7:30. So like, can you imagine if all of a sudden someone told you like you have to start your daily routine 2 hours earlier in a month? It would be rough for me. But yeah, it means figuring out the bus schedules. It means figuring out after school care or before school care. It means changing activities. It's a huge burden, but it's also it's tough on the students. But so we're still interested in that in my lab. So right now we're looking at teenagers' sleep and their brain function and their math and reading skills and mental health symptoms, and trying to see what the kind of relationship between all these things are. Because I think another interesting question is if you push high school start times later, like what does that actually change? Like, are kids going to get more sleep? Are they just gonna? Yeah, but even if they stay up later, like is there going to be kind of a shift in their sleeping pattern that it's at least more in rhythm with their kind of natural clock?
I was going to say there's some degree of circadian rhythm, light cycles. Like,
yeah, there
are alignments. I used to teach the 8 a.m. class. I haven't done that for a while, but it's like, hey, welcome to your 8 a.m. class. All the science says before the age of 24, you shouldn't be in class before 10 a.m., but who needs science when you're teaching a science class? So welcome to 8 a.m. general chemistry too.
Yeah.
Cheers. But yeah, a lot of it's practical and historical, and parents got to work, right? There's a 9 to 5 job.
Sure.
Kids have to be gone before then. I get it. But yeah, King Willie, frustrations all around. Mm-hmm. Oh man, I gotta catch up on some of these. My username rocks. What were you both like as kids? That's one of those, like, our lens of our own childhood is very different than reality. I'm 100% sure. My parents would give a different answer than I would.
I was kind of nerdy and kind of quiet. I really liked to read and play by myself, but that's when I was like a kid. And then as a teenager, I was kind of similar, kind of quiet. I like to read. I like to watch The Simpsons. I like to play Simpsons Road Rage. I was very, like, kind of like a questioning authority thing. Even as a kid, I was very into like asking my teachers why, and like saying like, well, at home, I read this, and like my mom told me this, and I think it's different from what you're telling me, and so I think like kind of a pain in the butt for some of my teachers.
Awesome.
Yeah, what were you like?
I was, despite the character I play while streaming and teaching and lecturing, I'm a mildly autistic introvert, like, and I always have been. But I was really good. I was smart enough to be good at sports, and my dad was a coach, so I was like all sports all the time when I was younger.
What sports did you do?
Track was the big one because my dad was a track pole vault coach. But track, basketball, football, karate were my basically everything. I probably worked out 3 to 4 hours a day every day till I was like 22.
Wow.
And so yeah, it was very intensive. I have several surgeries to show for it. Guess how much of that comes up on my resume? I'm not gonna say I regret it because I learned a lot about like, people. Like, coaching is managing people, right? And so the same thing is true for us as running research groups. We have people, we have to understand them, we have to inspire them. Like, I teach and mentor like a coach more so than a traditional instructor.
I'm curious to hear more about that because I'm a pretty big WNBA fan, and I was watching the playoffs last month, and I was like, I should approach mentoring like a coach, like Becky Hammon. The team that won the championship this year was like 500 middle of the season, like just like not doing well, not who they usually are, and they turned around and like won 16 games in a row, won the championship. Their star player won MVP. I was like, how did she do that? And I have like 5-ish people who I mentor like closely. Like I have 4 graduate students and I have my lab coordinator. So yeah, so tell me what like mentoring like a coach means to you.
Man, the hard part is picking people to join, right? Like picking students, because there's nothing in GPA or GRE or any prior experience that tells you whether somebody's going to be good or not. The thing I key up on is, are they enthusiastic? Like if you have passion, that will drive you through so much of things. And if you have passion, you can coach directionality to that passion, right? You can instruct like what you need to work on or what you might get better at, but you can't coach someone to care. And I think that was a big thing that I learned early on, is if I have somebody that's driven, they will go far.
How do you like look for that?
I think it comes through in a lot of the conversations in the meetings. Like we do lab rotations, so students are accepted into chemistry and they spend time in lab. And like you can tell, like, okay, they're shadowing a grad student, and then that grad student has a lull. They go talk to somebody else. I'm like just genuinely interested in learning what's going on and like what else is happening, why things are the way they are, asking questions. And it's hard because like the extrovert versus introvert, but like you kind of see it behind the eyes, whether there's interest there, whether they're just blank staring at you or there's some genuine curiosity sparking. But it's hard. I've graduated 12 PhDs. I have 5 right now. I've only had to kick one grad student out of my group. Yeah, chemistry is, we're luxurious because we have TA lines, so we're spoiled.
Yeah. So do we in psychology. No,
but they actually teach classes, right? Or are they grading and things like that?
They do more like grading, and we call them kind of like departmental assistants. So they'll grade and do other things to support the department, and then they'll teach like a lab section. And they don't usually have to teach their own lecture, but a lot of them often want to. It's good experience if they're thinking about going on an academic path.
No, that makes sense. Kamikazu wants to know, what's a hot take in life or science that you would defend like crazy? Like, are you suggesting like an unpopular opinion that will defend to the death? I'm gonna bring up one that is not science related, but is very salient in my life right now. So my brother-in-law organizes these food brackets where he ranks foods, and then he has a group of us debate on food matchups and vote on them. And we're doing a Halloween candy one. And I think candy corn should take it. It is, I think, like the quintessential Halloween candy. I also think it tastes good. Pretty good. It's bizarre, but I really like it. Yeah. But I think that's kind of a hot take. I think a lot of people find candy corn like kind of disgusting and really weird, and like, what is it even? But I think it's really good, and I think it's like super important for Halloween. Like, what other it is the only candy that is Halloween. Like, you're not gonna eat candy corn in August. Misadventures, boo.
Yeah, see, I told you it's not a popular take, but
that is amazing.
But that is my truth.
I was not ready for a candy corn hot take. None of us were. It came upon us.
Yeah.
Yes, love candy corn, especially the pumpkin-shaped ones.
Me too. I love the pumpkin ones.
Mr. Venture says, I think you and my wife are the only people that like candy corns. You are propping up the entire industry.
Yeah.
Congratulations. That's awesome. Top trike. I'm in Scotland and have no idea what candy corn is.
Oh my gosh, Top Trike, we got to send you some candy corn. It's colored sugar smushed together in the shape of corn.
It's got a waxy-like texture.
Yeah. It's got a very strange texture and a flavor that is also kind of strange, but
I think you'd recognize it. There's a Google image search if you guys want to click on that long link. Sorry, I apologize for taking up chat, but I think you'll recognize it if you see it, even if you're outside. Any like Halloween movie that's produced in the U.S. has a candy corn somewhere in it.
yeah. I like that.
The candy corn take. That is the most controversial thing you've said tonight.
Yeah. The science is timid, but the candy corn is what gets people riled up.
Man, well, that's one of the things I've noticed too about this stream is like we have a an area of expertise that's relatively narrow where we can confidently say I know more than anyone else in the world at, and then we have this halo around it of this like valley of uncertainty where
Sure.
we know enough not to know things.
Yeah.
But you get outside of that valley, I'm a candy corn expert.
Yeah.
I will talk with certainty about candy corn and why it's the best of Halloween candies.
No.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are an hour and a half into the stream. We are halfway through. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling like I'm a terrible driver.
That's fine. It's the nostalgia.
But yeah, it is super nostalgic. I feel like I used to be better at the game. I think it's the sensitivity of the controls.
That might be it. I don't know what I have them set to.
Not even like the controller itself, just learning that, knowing how to back up, useful skills for driving. But it's super fun. I haven't played this in how old am I? I don't know, say 20 years. So
That's awesome.
yeah.
My username Rox asks, is this recorded? Yes, it is recorded. The VOD will be available on Twitch for 2 weeks, but also you can check out our YouTube channel. There's the link right there. You can check out all 112 of our previous streams. So we have guests across all domains of science, engineers, chemistry, physics, biology, psychology. We've had music theorist on. I'm looking forward to having a dance professor on.
Oh,
Should
that's
be
awesome.
interesting. Not necessarily science, but we love to expand our horizons and learn new things.
Probably science
I think there
behind the
is.
practice.
I mean, expanding on the idea of figuring out how things work and applying them into unique ways.
Yeah.
That is the foundation of it. Sociology. We've had geology, anthropology. I mean, we'll have anyone on that says yes. So thank you for saying yes to this.
Yeah, thank you.
I send emails to people saying, hey, are you interested in an unusual science outreach endeavor? Here's what we do. Sometimes they say yes. Dancing equals physics? Absolutely. It's kinesiology. It's exercise science. It's everything. Oh my God, we're playing as Willy.
Yeah.
Did you unlock new characters? Is that what happened?
I unlocked a couple, but then I went into mission mode. So,
Oh, nice.
ooh,
Oh, so it's like the Grand Theft Auto.
yeah.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
you
supposed to be
gotta-
doing something.
No, you're
but...
good. You hit it.
Oh, that's all I had to do?
Yep. I
Oh, I'm
think
supposed to hit the newspaper.
hit
Okay,
it
all right.
off the bounce.
Back up. Let's go. Woo.
And
So I just got to, okay, nice. Should be fun.
that is amazing.
Boom. All right.
So I watched like the first 10 to 15 seasons of The Simpsons, and I haven't watched it since. And I've heard that's a good choice.
Yeah, I watched a lot of it. I don't know what seasons it was though, because it was all reruns. It was on like twice a day, every day. But I feel like while I was watching it, there were reruns on, and then there were new episodes on, and I remember the new episodes were not as good. Oh, I missed it. Yeah.
This is relentless. Holy cow.
Okay. All right, we're gonna try that again.
I was always more into Futurama. That's fair. I mean, there's a... I can almost pick someone's age out if they liked Futurama versus Simpsons, because it was very specific windows of popularity.
Yeah, interesting. Futurama's good too.
Yeah. Prehistoric Bark. There were some episodes that just, man, for a comedy show, it hit way too hard.
Yeah.
All right, so we're halfway through. I'm going to do one of my canned questions. Are you good on drink? Do you want more? Do you want anything?
I'll do a little bit. Will you have a little bit more?
Oh, I'll absolutely.
Okay.
So
Let's do a
I
little
can
more
mix,
while
or
this
I'll let you.
Oh
do
yeah,
it 'cause
you go ahead and
control.
mix.
What do you do? One
You do like one of these would be good.
of those
Yeah.
to fill it a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, I will take care of that while
Thank you. Well, I hit some
drunk
newspaper
drive the
boxes.
tractor
Yeah.
With Willie, who's also probably drunk.
Yeah.
At least early Willie would have been.
All right.
How often do we do these streams? We do it every 2 weeks. So if you look under the about information portion of the Twitch, in fact, I can copy and paste it in chat right now. But I try to do it every other week. And so every other week, Wednesday night, 8 to 11 p.m., we have a different guest on from various different expertise. Yeah, and again, it's a diverse set of... One. Oh yeah, dilution by color. I should ask you.
Mm-hmm.
Hold it together, Willie.
Oh, okay. I got one more than last time.
And I was reading up online on various drinks of this, and there are strong opinions like you have to add the seltzer first and then pour this through because otherwise you mix it wrong.
Oh, interesting.
Lime. Maybe I'll let you do the lime.
Okay.
It's a
Yeah.
dash of,
It's just a dash.
subjectivity.
And we did better on that time. I got 8. And I like mine a little extra limey.
All right. Cheers. Hopefully you guys have a drink in hand. King Willie don't drink, but
Cheers.
Cheers nonetheless. Hanging out, playing Simpsons Road Rage.
Okay. Let's try this again.
Here's an interesting one. So, basing it just on early Simpsons, did Bart and Lisa grow up in a healthy environment for mental health?
You know, Marge was doing a lot of work. She's pulling a lot of weight. I don't know.
Now, that was a very different trope back in the day. It was that and Married with Children and
Yeah.
The Useless Husband.
Yeah. I mean, I think probably okay. Like, I think they were, they seemed like
loved.
middle class.
Yeah.
They were loved. You know, Marge really cared for them. They seemed to have a good relationship.
They had friends.
They had friends. You know, I think Lisa, I could see maybe like had a little bit of, I could see her developing a little bit of anxiety later on. She was like 8, I think, in the show.
Yeah,
But
something like that.
I think overall, I wouldn't say it was too bad.
Hold it together, Willie.
Follow-up question. You could do fMRI on one fictional character. Which one would it be?
Wow.
Or real. It could be, serial killers or, I don't know, astronauts.
Yeah. Serial killers is like, I think, a really is one other people really want me to study. Just I was giving a guest lecture on brain development and someone was like, what about serial killers? And I was like, it's a little out of the scope of the lecture.
Also, how big is your data set of serial killers?
Yeah.
You don't get that many.
No.
CEOs, on the other hand.
Yeah.
Willie, no!
Ooh, okay,
Ooh, that
I'm
was
almost
good, though.
there.
10
Yeah.
and 12. That was solid.
I mean, Dexter would be cool, like a child genius,
Yeah.
maybe from Dexter's Lab. Yeah. Yeah.
I like it.
Trying to think of someone who had like some kind of interesting cognitive power.
Oh, man. So that's interesting because like you could jump to like Matilda and telekinesis, right? Like
Oh,
like,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
superhero type.
Yeah, like what's going on when she's doing that? Yeah.
I mean, because
That's
it's
cool.
and that's one of the things. Like I debunk like healing crystals in class, not like in any rigorous way. Just like if the crystals are healing you, they have to interact with the atoms. But the same thing is true with telekinesis. You have to have some kind of force. And can you measure that? Is the answer functional MRI? I don't know.
Maybe.
That would be a fun sci-fi novel.
Yeah.
Integrate functional MRI of superheroes and identifying them in kids. And,
Maybe when I go back for that creative writing degree,
Yeah.
that's what I'll. That'll be my first project, or post tenure we said, right?
yep, post tenure. That's when you get a little more flexible. But from a neurological standpoint, healing crystals, yes, placebo effect is real.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that. Like, I
Sure,
don't care if you
yeah.
feel like it makes your headache mildly better. But if you're choosing that for your kid instead of cancer treatments, then you gotta, like, maybe it's time for someone to intervene.
Oh, we're so close. Oh no. That's
Right.
the like coming to it and then just missing it is.
Top
Ooh,
Trike said, what becomes the flip switch between giving a scientific fact, not sharing an opinion on scientific matter for you guys? So am I to interpret that as, that's interesting. Facts and opinions are not, I don't know. How do you interpret that question? What becomes the flip switch between giving a scientific fact and not sharing an opinion on a scientific matter? Because like a scientific
Yeah.
fact would be, objects accelerate at 9.8 meters per second squared. But like an opinion would be gravity is real. It's a hypothesis. I don't know.
I guess just thinking about the evidence, like, is there evidence for this thing, or is this my colored take on the evidence?
Yeah, that's a good point. Are you presenting the data or are you presenting the interpretation
Yeah.
of said data?
But we have to interpret the data.
Yeah, in fact, if you don't, some reviewers get upset and
Yeah.
ask you to interpret the data. So I got a paper in the works right now. It's under review. And what we did is we looked at all our Gen Chem tests for the past 5 years, and we assigned characteristics to the questions, like does it have an equation, a figure? And then we fed it into ChatGPT and said they saw the outcomes. And we compared what characteristics make students better and make ChatGPT better.
Ooh,
And so
fascinating.
there's some really distinct ones, like if a question contains not, like which of the following is not,
Yeah,
blah, blah, blah.
uh-huh.
ChatGPT does twice as well as students do.
Yeah.
And the
Ooh.
reviewers want us to suggest why. And I'm like, I'm not going to even pretend to know how ChatGPT brain works, nor should I, because that's not how we do this. Oh, there we go. GG's.
Hey.
We got all 12. Nice.
Wow, that's interesting. That's super interesting. So not is one, like the flipped logic.
Yep. Other things students do better at, like conceptual based questions. So we did Bloom's taxonomy and the partitioning there and assigned different values for both knowledge and cognitive process. And students do better. The more sections that are involved, ChatGPT does better than students do. Like
More
sections of the textbook. Like if you bridge topics, that was another one. But yeah, I don't remember all of them off the top of my head, unfortunately. But yeah, reviewers wanted us to wax intellectual about why ChatGPT answers the way it does. And I refused. All right. Kamikazu. Sorry for all the questions. I mean, that's why we're here. We're hanging out, drinking, playing
Yeah.
Simpsons Road Rage. What's a lab horror story? Like something went completely wrong, off the rails. Completely get if you can't answer. Oh man. Who brought the bag of nails?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
What's your?
I haven't had any real horror stories, which is good, because we work with children. So I'm thinking of something that's pretty lame. So give me a second to think if I can think of something else. But
Oh, so close.
oh, did I run out of time? Rats.
So I've one mildly MRI related. So in chemistry, we do NMR, right, which is the molecular version of MRI. And there was a grad student, I don't remember what university, but they got kicked out of the program. So their revenge was to grab a bunch of metal iron shards, walk into the NMR, and just throw them at it. And it got into the conductive coils, so it completely ruined
Oh
the
my
magnet.
god.
Because I mean, yeah, throwing metal shards will do that.
Wow. What happened?
You have to decommission
Yeah.
it. Like your magnet, your superconductor will no longer work when it gets shredded like that. So it was done. So yeah.
Did you make him pay for it?
I don't know what I don't know
But
how you would. That's a
Yeah.
$1.5 million piece of equipment. Like,
Wow.
jeez.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
About being responsible and showing up to work on time?
So
It's all a lie.
I guess I'm pretty fortunate. Nothing too crazy or bad has happened. The worst things I can think of are like data was collected incorrectly for a bunch of people. So, the task is programmed to take. Ooh, I don't want to like overshoot it. No, back it up. Like,
Why do you torment me so?
oh my
AI
gosh.
spike right there. That was brutal. Oh no.
Okay. All right. Okay, we'll figure this out. I feel like I don't actually know how to brake, which might be. I know to reverse and go forward. What is braking? But kind of a horror story was, so when I was at UNC, the building that the MRI was in it was part of the med school, but they had wet labs there. I don't remember what exactly it was for, maybe biomedical or something, but there was somebody, I think, left something burning and caused a fire. And the fire was, so the MRI is usually in the basement, fire's 3 floors up, but the sprinklers went off and water, there was apparently like not good drainage, and water just, oh wait, no, I think, oh, there we go. Water went down into the MRI center, and
Are you being chased or is that?
yeah.
Okay.
No, yeah, he's trying to hit me.
I was like,
So
that's crazy.
water goes down at the MRI center, and it's just like in the walls essentially, but the walls need to be taken down. And this happened over spring break, so in March, and they were like, okay, we'll be closed for a couple weeks, and they opened in September. So it was, just really like a huge problem for everyone's study. Like 6 months, like a 6-month pause on data collection.
For everyone.
Yeah, for everyone using the MRI. And there were some, they were able to open it some days and make some things work, but it was a horror story.
Man, that's brutal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, well, magnet related. So NMR in chemistry, it's similar to an MRI, but you put a tube with molecules and solution in it, and it spins really fast and it measures it. So I had one of those NMR tubes in grad school, and it had a hairline fracture, and I didn't know it. So when I was putting the cap on, glass shattered, and it went right through my finger, and I ended up with 7 stitches. You guys probably can't see it. You can see it a little bit there, but yeah, that was the only time I've had stitches in my life was from an NMR tube.
Wow. That sounds awful.
Yeah, no, it wasn't great. But I mean, it was like the surgeon that was stitching it up was like, this is a really clean cut, because glass cuts very clean, right? It's not like,
Yeah.
brazen
Well.
metal, but yeah.
Silver lining.
Yeah, exactly. It's the little victories.
Yeah. But we are, really, really careful about the MRI center and what goes in there, who goes in there. So no horror stories, and hopefully we'll never have one.
I was going to say there's a bunch within the broader community, right? Any MRI that's been at a hospital, like chairs getting sucked in.
Yeah, there's a
Gas
few.
cylinders.
There was a recent story a couple months ago where someone got killed,
Yeah.
I think because of negligence. And as we're starting to recruit for our new study, and parents are like, I read this thing about like someone getting killed in an MRI, and we have to be like, well, they were being unsafe and we're really careful.
Yeah. You're an awfully responsible parent. Way to do your homework. Like,
Yeah, it's
good for you.
Yeah.
But also, yeah, that's crazy. People don't appreciate how strong those magnets are. They are superconductors. They're,
Oh yeah.
what are yours? You're probably 5 Tesla, something like
3
that.
Tesla. The one we have here is 3 Tesla. People use 7 as well for human imaging, but 3 is, I think, more common. But yeah, you can think of it as like 3 times as strong as the magnets that they used to pick up cars in junkyards.
That would have
Just,
been
like,
a fun
collect these
prediction or
guys.
factoid,
Oh
actually.
yeah.
Like, which
That
one's
would've
stronger?
been. Yeah.
MRI or a car magnet?
Yeah.
That's really fun.
Just to knock them over again. Okay. Getting the lay of the land. Boom.
A series of fortunate events. And a more fun one about NMR, at least in the chemistry field. So NMRs are just a big superconducting magnet. You put your molecules in the center, right? And so modern ones, they have something called shielding, right? Where you have like a magnetic flux line going out of it, and then you have basically counteracting magnetic flux so the field doesn't go out too far. And so it's insulating. MRIs have a similar thing, right? Early NMRs, though, they installed one. I don't remember what university it was, but like they'd installed it and they were using it for their measurements, but they noticed at certain times of day, their measurements would go completely haywire. And they were worried about all sorts of things like radio signals, and microwaves, and all sorts of stuff. And it turns out they figured out the answer. It was the classroom across the hallway had a metal door. And when that metal door opened up at a certain time of day when students were leaving, that's when the data would go chaotic.
Wow.
And it was just the student like randomness
Just
of going out that door.
Leaving the room. Wow.
Yeah, and that's not an issue anymore. The field lines are shielded, but back then it was like within 10 feet, you could actually influence the shape of the flux. It's kind of fun. But man, how annoying would that be? You spend months like
Yeah.
troubleshooting. Like you don't get to publish that, right? You don't get to.
No,
Maybe you do in
yeah.
some like, magazine, but not. You don't get a research study of that one. Top Trek wants to know. I have a question. Does a super strong MRI have any effect on the brain under scan? Like having the brain interact with a big magnetic field.
Not with the brain itself. It can disrupt the images we're collecting. So we account for things like inconsistencies within the magnetic fields. But the magnet itself doesn't affect the brain, right? So it's sort of the opposite. We are measuring a signal that will change. We're sending radio frequency pulses, we're knocking over atoms, and we're kind of measuring them relaxing in the magnetic field. So I guess in that way, yes, it changes the brain is in that it aligns the atoms that we're knocking over. So yeah, I'll amend my answer. Yes, it does, but not in terms of the things that we're interested in understanding in terms of like function, cognition, things like that.
Knocking over the atoms is an awesome descriptor.
Yeah, when I
I like it.
teach, I sometimes will like lecture in neuroscience methods, and I do like a physical, like you knock them over and they're going like this, and we're measuring how they go back like that.
Because for you, for MRI, it's like the T1 relaxation, right? It's transverse going to vertical, and because it's all just measuring water, if I'm remembering correctly.
So functional MRI, we're measuring the blood oxygenation level. So as your brain is active, you're consuming more energy in those areas, so you need more oxygenated blood to that area of the brain. And the hemoglobin, the like ratio of deoxygenated to oxygenated hemoglobin is what changes the signal that we're measuring.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. That's for fMRI, right?
Yeah.
So if we're getting like structural MRI, then yeah, we're looking at like the T1 relaxation time of the tissue itself. And the nice thing about the brain is that like different tissue has different relaxation properties. So we can get really nice measures of gray matter in the brain versus white matter versus where we have like cerebrospinal fluid.
That's interesting. So you're locking to a specific hemoglobin related signal then when you're doing that, and you get the ratio of the iron 2 and iron 3. That is intriguing.
Yeah.
I didn't know that for functional MRI.
Yeah.
Oh, that's very
The
cool.
bold. So one thing that does change the signal we're interested in is things that change blood flow, right? So we ask about things like how much caffeine have you had today? What kind of medications are you taking?
That is interesting. All right. Guys, if you have any questions, throw those in chat. In the meantime, I'm going to ask some of my favorites because I want to get them in. We're almost at 10 o'clock. We're 2 hours in. So let me know if you want to keep playing, if you want to try anything else. If you want, I mean, you should probably play Streets of Rage at some point.
Yeah.
Like, we should get that one in for sure.
Okay.
In the meantime, Indecent has requested a factoid. So do you have a knowledge bomb you want to drop on your audience? Just something interesting tidbit somebody might find interesting.
Okay, so
Is this a rage themed stream?
yeah.
I think we learned something about you today.
I think
all
so.
subconscious. Freud was right.
Something. I'm working through something.
Yeah, exactly.
I appreciate you all letting me do it.
It'll come out on stream.
Yeah. Okay, so the prefrontal cortex, right, is something that we hear about, like, children don't have a prefrontal cortex, right? The prefrontal cortex isn't there yet. And so part one of this factoid is that is not true. Children do have a prefrontal cortex. It's there when they're born. But the prefrontal cortex does mature much slower than other parts of the brain. So when we're thinking about brain maturing, right, we're not thinking again about like new neurons growing, but we're thinking about connections forming and then connections being taken away. And if we think about something like the visual cortex, this process is, you kind of plateau in this process in the first few years of life, but in the prefrontal cortex, this continues to happen until you're about in your early 20s. So it's an interesting, this kind of lends itself to a question in the field is sort of like, when does adulthood actually begin? When does adolescence actually end, right?
Oh.
You know, 18 is an age that we use to determine a lot of things, but our prefrontal cortex is still, you know, not fully baked at that point. So it has a really protracted maturation. And we think about kind of stereotypical behaviors or things that we think about teenagers, right? And decision making, impulsivity. You can think about in this context that their prefrontal cortex is still really refining itself.
Man, that's amazing, because that dovetails so nicely with the stream 2 weeks ago. So Lisa Shelby on social work, and like one of the big things about foster care is aging out, because the government says at 18 you are done, you no longer, you're an adult, congratulations. But it was the same thing, right? You're not an adult, you don't know how to do this stuff, and it's biologically limiting at some point.
Yeah.
Which is pretty amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think there's all sorts of, like you're saying, policy implications for this, right? When we think about, you know, charging someone as an adult for something or having them age out of a system, when we know that their brain is still not totally mature.
All right, we should pop up another prediction. Which one do you want to do? Guy.
Top one. Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't even dove into this topic because I'm curious, because my daughter was diagnosed ADHD, actually. All right, 10 o'clock. Should we switch over to?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, I'm gonna put up a
these
prediction for you
mascots.
guys. We're gonna change games here, and in the meantime, you guys are gonna be able to answer this question. ADHD always starts in childhood. True or false? Anything you want to add to that? I think that's pretty straightforward.
Oh, I think it's good.
All right, so we'll go to our talking heads for a brief moment while that happens. I'm gonna ask you a plugged question while I'm gonna switch between games. Do you have a favorite equation?
I saw this one on your list. I think you had a cognitive neuroscientist on the show already who gave this answer, but it's kind of true. It's you know, linear algebra is
Gets the job done.
it gets the job done. It is what we do, where it's just regressions on regressions as we're processing and removing all of the kind of unwanted things from the signal that we really care about. Which is funny because I was going back to the question about me as a kid, I did well in school for a while, and then high school I had a period where I just like didn't care about much, and I also like didn't like math. So I just in algebra in high school just did not do well, and was kind of like, this is like, what is this even? I'm never gonna need this. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And sometimes I think about my algebra 2 teacher in high school, and I just want to let her know, like, hey, I use algebra all the time, every day. I'm sorry I gave you such a hard time about it. But I also want to know that I'm like, I use it, and I use it well now. So,
That's awesome.
I turned out okay in the end.
Oh, man.
But I don't know if she remembers who I am. Probably not.
All right, here it is, ladies and gentlemen. We're switching over to Streets of Rage. Change the game.
Nice. Okay, gotta play as Skate.
Which is how we learned which game we're talking about. Is there was a guy on skates that did a breakdance move. Which is amazing.
Punch. That's the move.
All right, Tahila, everyone said false. What is the answer to this question?
The answer to the question is actually true.
True.
Yeah.
No one picked true. Nobody did a dark horse bet on this one.
Yeah. You can get a diagnosis in adulthood, but the way ADHD is defined right now, the symptoms have to have started when you were a child. So you can retrospectively look back and say, hey, I have, inattentive or hyperactive symptoms that are disrupting my life, which is essentially sort of the criteria for ADHD. But you also have to sort of recognize that this was something that I had in childhood as well in order to get an ADHD diagnosis and get treatment as an adult. So I put true-ish because there are some people who are thinking about a redefinition and is there adulthood ADHD that is different, but the way we diagnose it now, it has to have started in childhood for it to be considered ADHD.
That is interesting. And so Top Trek has a follow-up. So it's not from birth. So that's a nature versus nurture.
Yeah, I mean, it's diagnosed from behaviors, and really, so it's really diagnosed typically like 6 and up, because hyperactive and inattentive behaviors in a disruptive manner are kind of hard to identify in toddlers and young children, right? All young children are like kind of nuts at times, and so it's really about like, are they displaying symptoms that are uncharacteristic for their age and impairing them? And usually you only really, and they have to be impaired in 2 settings, so school and home, and you really only usually can definitively say that when they are kind of in school, like formal school. So usually 6. It can be diagnosed younger if it's clear that those symptoms are really there and there's impairment, but it's not usually diagnosed. It's not diagnosed at birth.
So fun fact for anyone in the state of Florida, I don't know if this applies elsewhere, at least this happened with our kid and our teachers, is a teacher won't go out and tell you, I think your kid has ADHD. It has to be the result of an inquiry, like, have you seen my kid have these certain behaviors? Because they don't want to be liable for making a diagnosis, because that's not their job. But ultimately, for the diagnosis, the teacher has to fill out a form that's like, how do they behave in response to these things? Yeah. And then that's taken in and then assessed by someone who's an expert.
Yeah, and that's the 2 settings piece. And so sometimes some challenges are like, what if kids are homeschooled? And then you can ask like a coach or like a youth group leader or something, but
so my username rocks. If it doesn't disrupt your life, it's not ADHD, just hyperactive. What's the difference? I guess, so what are the major classes? Because there was ADD, and then there was ADHD, and then there's hyperactive.
So the current definition is ADHD, and there are 3 subtypes. So it's an ADD is no longer considered a formal diagnosis. So you can have a combined subtype where you have both inattentive and hyperactive / impulsive symptoms. We kind of group those together. Or you can have just inattentive or just hyperactive impulsive. You don't see a ton of the just hyperactive impulsive without inattention, but you do see a fair amount of just inattentive.
All right, Kamikazu has a follow-up. Oh, Misadventure said, we did the computer testing around kindergarten for their kid.
Yeah.
They said they noticed symptoms or their characteristics of concern at 1.5 years old.
Wow.
Which is intriguing, because
That is interesting. Yeah.
I mean, at least for me as a parent, I had no idea what I was doing and what normal was, so
Sure.
I'm impressed.
And it can vary by, like, I think if this isn't your first child, right, and you sort of have a benchmark, right?
Control.
Yeah, a base. Yeah, sure. Control case.
You
might notice symptoms earlier.
It's fine.
Oh my gosh, I cannot hold on to that knife.
So I don't know if you have infinite lives. We put in the code, but sometimes the codes don't work.
I don't
on
seem
this.
to be. Nothing bad seems to be happening to me when I die. So I think. Ooh, yeah, just break some stuff. Got it.
All right, another question about the diagnosis. Kamikazu wants to know, so what is the logic / reasoning behind girls and boys being diagnosed at different times in their childhood
Yeah.
for ADHD?
That's a really interesting question. So they're diagnosed at different times, and boys are diagnosed at higher rates as well. And I think that there's some interesting social things going on there, right? So when we think about, hyperactive behaviors and the way girls are on average sort of socialized to not generally be as hyperactive, right? The kind of like things that they engage with in terms of play, the kind of behaviors.
Expectation of demure.
Yeah. Sure. It's a good way to put it. And so the expression can look kind of different in girls where, am I dead or am I just behind
I
something?
think you might have run out of lives. My infinite lives code did not work.
Oh, well, now I'm someone else. Okay, I can play as her. Oh, no, I can't actually play as her. I'm just going to get beat up. So in girls, it can be expressed as more inattentive versus hyperactive symptoms, and those are going to probably be caught later, right? If you're being really disruptive in the classroom, that's something that's going to, or at home, more kind of hyperactive behaviors, that's something that's probably going to be noticed a little earlier than inattentive behaviors. So on average, that's why girls tend to get diagnosed less and later, a little later.
Yeah, so anecdotally for our daughter, sorry, Bo, I'm revealing things on stream, but she was in first grade when it started to be notable, right? Because first grade is like, it's no longer playtime. You have like tests, assessments, things like that. You have to pay attention. And for her, it was like, there were some concerns we had at home, but when she came home and it's like, why can't I sit still like the other kids can?
Oh, so she was asking about it.
Very introspective on her behavior. Why was... Because she had a very punitive teacher that was like, if you're not, organized in your rows, there's going to be consequences, kind of thing. Your name on the board, which was good in the sense that we were able to catch it early, but also, I mean, doing that to a first grader because they have a biological condition is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But so
it is.
All right. Top break. Why is it called attention deficit when in fact it seems to be redistribution of energy to specific topics, hyperfocus, and less attention to topics due to lack of interest? So that's interesting. It's presumably historical, but where does that come from? Attention deficit.
Yeah. I mean, I think you could think of it as attentional control deficit. So, it's hard to say if they have less attention, but in terms of focusing it on the task at hand. And I think it's interesting to think about, well, you see better focus when it's something that isn't interesting, but functional existence requires us to kind of focus and allocate our attention to all sorts of things, and difficulty doing that is that's the impairment, right? So if you can't kind of stay on task on something that is not something that you really care about, that's a problem and presents challenges.
Cuddle Puppies follow up, because your attention isn't on what the authority figures want it to be on.
I mean, but you know, it's not just the authority figures, right? You're saying, well, I guess you're saying your daughter recognized it in herself because the teacher was penalizing for it. But
I mean, it's
you know,
fair to recognize differences between you and other kids. I think that's Puppy, that's harsh. Fun fact: the author of Captain Underpants. Are you familiar with this book? The two kids.
I know of it. Yeah.
The two kids that somehow brainwashed their principal into coming into this Captain Underpants character. But anyway, the author of that has, I think, ADHD, but like it wasn't diagnosed when he was a kid. So he spent a whole lot of time in the hallway, like on his own, being punished.
And that's
where these characters came from. And it was like the controlling the principal, and like that's the origin story of Captain Underpants.
Wow, undiagnosed ADHD. That's pretty cool.
Exactly. And I'm pretty sure it was ADHD, but which would make sense given the context. And also the just off the wall creativity of ideas and things. All right, we're at 10:10. We got about 20 minutes left of this before we dive into NARC. If you guys have any question, our guest today is Dr. Tahila Nugiel. I said it wrong in the intro. And you know why? Because I wrote my G. It looks kind of like a J.
Yeah. Oh.
Nugel is what I said, but it's
Yeah.
Nugel. What do people? What's the worst pronunciation you've heard of the last name?
I don't know. I mean, I get like Nugiel a lot, or Nugiel, but those aren't that crazy.
So I was looking at it. If it's Vietnamese, it's like Nuel.
Oh yeah.
Or something like that, getting the G silent. Top Trek, the education system was definitely not structured in the 90s for that for sure.
Yeah.
In the UK, they slowly started to introduce new teaching methods for the daydreamers amongst us. I mean, that's fair.
That's good, yeah.
All right, I'm going to ask one of my favorite questions because time is getting short and I want to get this before you have to put all your attention to NARC and win the war on drugs.
Okay, I'm ready.
So my favorite question for my guests is, movies or TV shows that get your discipline right or wrong? And so this could be loosely defined. This could be brain, like only using 10% of your brain, like in Lucy. It could be how they represent psychologists, everything from, Good Will Hunting to whatever it might be. Or functional MRI. I don't know how. We do have one example of that. I think The Walking Dead was one of them. But yeah.
Oh, I haven't seen The Walking Dead. I think Inside Out.
Inside Out
did a good job of representing, especially memory, sort of how memories, if I'm remembering it correctly, memories are sort of, it's not the full memory, but there is this kind of like coded representation of it in those circles.
Yeah, that is fun.
And you could kind of like recall it, but it's not like hard stored anywhere.
And the mixed emotion aspect of the
Yeah. So I was really impressed, and I was like, wow, this is like, and I think I read that they did consult with like cognitive neuroscientists when they were. I feel like I want to pick this up. Yeah. No, that's just pausing the game.
Cuddle Puppies follow-up. Inside Out is hated by HR departments, though, because it says that it's okay to have feelings other than joy.
Yeah. I think that too.
Yeah.
So I'm in line with Inside Out.
Oh, that's fun. In Descent, consulted with Berkeley social psych professor Datcher Keltner.
Oh, very
So
cool.
They dropped the name of the actual.
Yeah. So not a cognitive neuroscientist, but a social psychologist. But
I mean, that's pretty impressive, actually.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
yeah.
And I like how they escalate the emotions in the second movie. Oh, I think you're dead.
Yeah, I'm dead again.
So you get to put your initials in. I just reset it.
Oh.
So it's just a soft reset. Hitting the reset button.
Okay.
But that's amazing. Inside Out. Are there any that have gotten it wrong? Any that?
Yeah, probably none are popping into mind. I think there was one that it was like Bradley Cooper where he took some kind of pill.
Limitless.
Yeah,
Yes.
and he
Yep,
could
he
use
took a drug. Yeah.
his whole
He
brain.
unlocked his whole brain
Yeah.
potential.
Which like your brain functions as like systems that, you know, do their thing and communicate with each other, but the idea that you sort of unlock the whole potential, I don't think would be very good for you. And there was some recent work that scanned people while they were on, I think it was psilocybin, and they found that on that the kind of boundaries between brain systems broke down,
Interesting.
which is, you know, is not not what happened to Bradley Cooper, right? He was like able to.
I was going to say, you mess with the regulatory mechanism, you become mush,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You don't become the winner of the stock market.
Yeah. Yeah.
You become the drooling slouch on the street.
Yeah. So I'm glad you remembered the name of it. I remember being like, well, this seems a little.
Yeah, because they had a TV show follow-up, which I didn't watch, but with that said, I do love a movie where the smart person is the hero. That doesn't always happen.
Yeah,
but
that is
this
true.
was performance thing. I mean, so along that vein, are there performance enhancing drugs? Are there, I mean, like Ritalin works for people with ADHD, but let's say you don't have that. Is there a push for that? Is there interest in that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's interest.
There's hope, maybe.
I think there's a lot of products that will claim to do that. I don't
Yeah.
know what the evidence is behind them. And I mean, Ritalin will work for people who don't have ADHD too. Some, like, you know, it works for a lot of people with ADHD and it works for people who don't. It kind of does a similar thing. It might not have as strong of an effect because that mechanism is not functioning atypically, but yeah. Rollerblades are a performance enhancing.
Especially in this game.
Yeah.
I'm glad you got to play this, though.
Me too.
So it was about 10 minutes before the stream started. We were going through the list of
Oh, wait,
games,
am I
and
holding
I
my
pulled
person?
up Street Fighter 2. And Tahila was like, this is not the game I played.
Yeah.
And so instead we narrowed it down. And I think your keywords were rollerblades,
This is the guy I remember.
breakdance
Oh,
move,
what are we supposed to be
something.
doing here? Yeah, I remembered this. No, this. Oh, are we fighting together?
Oh no, did she come in the game? How is she in there?
I don't
Is
know.
that like player
But
two
this button is
controls?
controlling her, and this button is controlling him.
Let's get something going on here. I might have hotkeys on.
For a while, they were just like hugging each other, and I was.
Sure, that's. All right, now I'm playing with you. Let's go.
Wait. Okay, we keep going. Yeah.
So this was an arcade game, if I remember correctly, like the stand-up Pizza Hut arcade. Oof, I deserve that. Sorry, stream, I got caught up in the game. I don't know what I'm doing, but we're doing our best. Follow-up question from Top Trike. Would it be possible, do you think, to unlock the full control of the brain, e.g. subconscious routines? For example, consciously, can we take control of our breathing? But do you think there would be any way to bring
wow.
the subconscious into the conscious? Like, I mean, there's certain meditative practices that do this, right?
Control your breathing.
Yeah, control, I mean, at least, I guess not control the pace of breathing you can do, heart rate.
You can control aspect of your breathing. You control your own heart. I think you can like cognitively modulate those systems, but like fully take the reins of your midbrain. I don't
All right,
know.
heart, stop now.
Yeah. You probably
Oh man,
want
yeah, I don't
that
think you want
ability.
that stress. It's like when you're sitting there and you think about your own breathing, and all of a sudden you stop breathing
yeah.
because
Oh
you
gosh,
panic.
that sounds.
Nobody wants that control. And if you do get that control, you're probably going to die because you're not thinking about it all the time. So
Oh yeah.
breathing, yeah, that's fun. All right, we got about 10 minutes left before Ask a Scientist, or we switch to NARC. Is there any other question? Do you want to do another one of these? Pop in another prediction. We got 2 left.
Yeah, let's do the bottom one.
All right, we're gonna put another prediction up there. Nobody won the last prediction, which is kind of a rarity. Usually somebody does like a really small value dark horse bet, but in this case, I guess Cuddle Pup missed it. Sorry you were in the bathroom during that last prediction, but hopefully you're on for this one. We're gonna pop up another question right now. There is specific brain activity to identify ADHD, as in somebody could look at a functional MRI and say this person has ADHD. True or false? Is that fair? That
Yep,
captures
that is.
the essence of it.
Yep. Perfect.
All right, so you guys got 2 minutes to answer that. True or false? There are ways to identify ADHD via things like functional MRI. All right, is there anything else I wanted to ask you? I gotta go through the list because I get distracted while we talk and play.
It's a
So Mike, rather than
Skill,
putting
yeah.
it in chat, click the predict button at the top of your chat, and you can use your standard internet units, and you can gamble as confidently as you are in this answer. More points if you're confident, less points if you're not confident, but that is totally up to you. I have no idea on this one. Well, these internet points are pretty useless outside of this channel, so just do it for pride. You know, pick one side. There's really not much to lose. I'm sure Cuddle Puppy has like 10,000 standard internet units at this point. All right, you guys have about 30 seconds left on this one. So you've made it through all the characters then. That's kind of fun.
yeah. Skate's definitely my favorite.
No one will supersede Skate. in this.
No, it's like can't beat that breakdance spin on your head move. This guy's pretty
The barrel roll
beefy
is
though. Yeah.
solid.
Yeah.
Actually, dude, that big.
But what can I do? Oh wait, how did I end up getting hurt there? Nice.
30 seconds left on this. Brought back such eye clicker nostalgia. Oh man, that must be a former student from my class, because that is.
Do you use the eye clicker?
I do use eye
Yeah.
clickers, and I'll do like 1 minute, 10 seconds left. Get your answers in. Yeah, you probably heard that a lot if you were one of my students over the last 3 years or 3 semesters of teaching. Oh man, the stress of it too. So I don't do like right answer. I just want them to answer.
Yeah.
Right, just participation, like
Sure.
share, answer things. Looked up from my notes like, wait, did I miss something? Absolutely. All right. Tahila, what is the answer? Specific brain activity to define ADHD or identify ADHD, true or false?
This is false.
False.
Yeah. It is something that, I think we want to do as a field is to have like a really reliable idea of what the ADHD looks like in the brain, to be able to use it as a biomarker, to be able to kind of better test, okay, if we have a really good idea of what this looks like in the brain, what does it look like when we look at medication? How can we push this around? How can we move this around in ways that aren't medication based? But as a field in general in cognitive neuroscience, and I think this is a big goal in general for clinical cognitive neuroscience, not just with ADHD. And this is also false for other things too. You can't like look at someone's brain and say like, you have depression or you have anxiety. We know that there are, on average, patterns of brain activity and brain function that you are maybe more likely to display if you have anxiety, or if you have 2 groups of people with, one with, one without ADHD, we have some things that we expect or have seen, but especially at the individual level, we don't have this well mapped out yet. And part of the challenge here is that we do often rely on groups when we're thinking about studying these things, right? But the group doesn't contain anyone, right? It's just this kind of mashing together of everybody, and people's brains are
Hey, come on with player.
Really?
You're gonna beat this boss. I got you 3 more lives.
all right. Let's go, Blaze.
We're taking the win on this one. I think this is the boss, the first level, actually.
All right, he's almost done. Come on, Jack. One of these knives. Oh, you.
Top trick. I'm so glad I'm open-minded and didn't listen to social media on that one. Social media. So one of
Yeah.
the questions I like to ask as well is, what's the flat Earth / anti-vax equivalent in your field? And my proposal for this ADHD, autism, any mental disorder is just TikTok in general right now. The number of imposters and fake syndrome.
Yeah, it's definitely a double-edged sword. I think like raising awareness, finding community, things like that are good, but I think there's a lot of misinformation, and it ranges from annoying to dangerous, right? Depending on what is being shared, what is being sold. So yeah, I think just in general, neurodivergence as a topic, like, more discussion, more awareness about that, great, but follow the evidence and not the all the anecdotes and just non-based claims, non-evidence supported claims.
Interesting counterpoint from Cuddle Puppy. Social media did help convince me to get tested for ADHD and autism.
For sure. That's what I'm saying.
Just
I
the
think
awareness,
raising
yeah.
awareness could be a really good thing, but I think that it's a balance like anything, and I think the scariest place is if there are people trying to peddle things, in the health and wellness space to I don't know, cure your ADHD, or which isn't even something that you cure. So I think more awareness is a good thing, but I think it's just about finding the balance. And one of the things, so I teach child psychology, but I really just try to hammer, just be critical of everything you hear, and what is the evidence, like where is this claim coming from, and I think people can develop like a good gut for these things too, but it's tough.
And I guess the other one in the psychology realm is Scientology, right? Where psychologists are the devil, any medication is wrong.
Yeah, that's
Which we don't have to dive into on YouTube.
That's a big can of worms.
Exactly. But yeah.
Blaze is kind of kicking butt.
Yeah, get it. And that's, I mean, some of the more problematic ones I've seen analyzed are like the people pretending to have Tourette's, and it just doesn't capture things at all.
Yeah.
Like it makes it a joke rather than a debilitating condition.
Mm-hmm.
I think you just beat level 2. Well
Yay.
done.
Ooh, this guy looks scary. This guy's
Believe it
very
or not,
large over
This is
here.
a good warm-up for NARC, actually.
Okay,
NARC
great.
is a side-scroller, 2D, well, semi-3D. But yeah, if you guys have any last-minute questions for Tahila, we have about 30 minutes left in the stream. She's happy to answer those questions. We're talking about ADHD, dyslexia, functional MRI, developmental psychology, understanding children and how these disorders develop in their brains, trying to catch it early, ultimately hoping to diagnose it with functional MRI, which might not be possible, as we discussed. But yeah,
I think we'll get better. I think one thing that we're thinking about more and more is mapping the brain at the individual level, instead of sort of relying on something we learned from a group and kind of hunting for that in an individual. When people's brains are, one of the things that really fascinates me about the brain is that it, like I was saying earlier, it has this like really well-defined functional architecture that is really similar in some ways across people, but there are really distinct things that vary person to person. And how that kind of balance, I think, is super fascinating. But I think it's key if you're trying to think about, using it as a diagnostic tool.
I mean, so that's probably a problem across all health sciences, right?
Sure.
I mean, we rely on average behavior to say, do you fall in this average range?
Yeah.
If not, you're out. And so is the idea there for an individual diagnosis then to look at like delta, like we have a specific stimuli series and we look at change? Like, how do you do that on a one-person basis? Where like an ADHD person, I don't know, their delta function, like delta change according to stimuli is a certain way versus a non-ADHD?
I think ultimately you would have a model of what you're looking for, and then some way of testing that model. And but the model that you're looking for is also going to vary a little bit person to person. So I think you have to sort of like if you're looking for, I'm looking for like some kind of change in this specific region of the brain, and I'm looking in that specific region of the brain across everybody, it might not be in exactly the same place as everyone.
I see.
So you'd have to sort of kind of map each individual's brain, and then I think look for some key characteristic that is both individualized but also like generalizable. So it's tough. It's like I think that's why it's something we're still
There's an
really
answer,
chewing on. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, as much as you love the rollerblade guy, you're kicking ass.
I
with
know.
Blaze
Yeah.
right now.
Blaze is like
she's tearing it up.
She's yeah.
I respect that.
This guy's on the motorcycles though. I don't know what's wrong with that. She's definitely more powerful, I think, than Skate. Oof. Wow.
Oh, jeez. Now we're getting this is the quarter eater level.
Yeah.
This is where we start paying for our mistakes.
Oh no. I just keep getting run over by this guy. Wow, I don't know what to do here. See, this is where Skate would be useful, because when he gets crowded, he could just like do the
area attack.
yeah, the area attack, but wow, I'm just getting my butt kicked.
Man, I wonder if they have Streets of Rage at like if you've been to like Flip and Grade Pinball in Railroad Square, they have the old arcade games.
No, I haven't.
This would probably be a lot of fun, 4 players. It's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
2 levels,
Yeah.
unlimited quarters.
Do the machines there take quarters?
No, you like purchase an hour of play or something,
Okay.
or unlimited for a night, or back in the day when we used quarters. Now it's
Yeah.
all swipe card games.
Yeah, I was gonna say, does it just take your credit card, your Apple Pay?
Exactly. Apple Pay for Streets of Rage 2. Totally worth it. All right, I think that is it for Blaze. She made it quite far. All right,
Yeah.
Are you ready for this? Are you ready for the final
Yeah,
stretch
I think
of the
so.
night? All right, we are changing it up, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to NARC. Unfortunately, we didn't have time to practice, so Tahila's seeing this for the first
Going in
time.
blind.
You are doing this
I'm
controller,
warmed
the
up.
original Nintendo,
Okay. Wow.
the Crippler.
I've never used one of these before.
Oh my gosh,
It's
it is
pretty cool.
so not ergonomic. You're about to get arthritis.
Yeah, I'm like,
and
what do I do?
apologize.
This actually is kind of the same shape as, so when we have kids in the MRI and I put them in there and I ask them to like read words and tell me whether or not they rhyme, I give them something that's kind of shaped like this. It's got 4 buttons and it's,
It's
a
just a
rectangle. It's a
rectangle.
little bit bigger, yeah.
That's
And I
awesome.
tell them they're going to use a game controller and then I hand them that and they're like, what are you
Yeah,
talking
where's
about?
the dual
Yeah.
joysticks and triggers?
Yeah. They're like-
So disappointed.
I also tell them they're playing games, and then they're like, "Oh, I thought we were gonna play Minecraft."
Yeah,
And I'm
I
like,
didn't say it was going to be a fun
"Yeah,
game.
no, I'm just gonna ask you to do math really fast. That sounds fun, right?"
All right, so before you press start on this, I'm going to give everyone some context into this. Anyone that's
Yeah.
not familiar with Ask a Scientist Gaming or joining us for the first time, mediocre gameplay, expert science. Part of that mediocre gameplay is I force every guest at the end of the night to play NARC. And so NARC is a bargain bin game for the Nintendo Entertainment System. It's a game I had as a kid. I played on stream once, and then it became a running joke to make every single guest play it on stream. And so part of that endeavor is we have a clock. Do you want to see the clock or not see the clock? You have no context for what's fast.
I think I want to
so
see the clock.
I made it. It's up to you. It's
Yeah.
it's
Yeah, it'll
just for
motivate me.
fun. So I'm going to get the clock up on the screen for everyone to see it. And so you are racing against all your colleagues. I think we've had 90 people or something like that from Florida State and beyond do this race.
Wow.
And so you're going to try to beat it as quickly as possible. But before you do, we want to give you some context. So here's the original game cartridge. The tagline is NARC, no one had the guts till now. And so you need to know the lore before you dive into this game.
Yeah.
You are Max Force. Your mission, bust Mr. Big and destroy his dreaded criminal empire. Seize all contraband, stolen money, illegal weapons, use rocket bombs, high-powered machine guns, apprehend all suspects, protect the innocent, punish the guilty, stop at nothing. So when you're ready,
So cause chaos.
go ahead and press start, and your goal is to walk right as quickly as possible and find doors. So
Walk right as quickly as possible and find doors. Do you tell me what these do, or do I
yes,
just
I'll walk you through it as we go through.
All right.
And then it's a little messy, and we'll get into why that's the case.
Wow.
But yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for some NARC.
Okay.
All right, clock starts now. Walk right. So you have two buttons. This was originally an arcade game, and so they turned 4 arcade buttons into 2 buttons. So there's no advantage in killing anyone. You're just going right, finding doors as quickly as you can. And so through that door right there. And so tapping A is a rocket.
Okay.
Holding A is bullets. So hold down A. Tapping B is jump, and holding B is squat. So
Okay.
if you hold down B, so grab that red card. Going right. So yeah, jumping over bullets is generally a good strategy, but yeah, you're trying to beat this as quickly as possible. There's no advantage in killing anyone other than they stop shooting you. So going through that door, walk right, find another door, you'll see a key card, put it in there. And yeah, so the trick, one of the rate limiting steps in this game is a boss at the end, and you have to do a jump rocket. So you have to tap B to jump, and while in the air, you have to tap A to get a rocket. So hit this card slot thing here to the right, then it'll go through the door. See, it's a realistic game.
Yeah. My swipe.
Exactly.
My swipe back
You
this.
need the motion
Yeah.
while you saunter across the street.
All right.
Oh, man.
Okay.
Oh, all right. Miss Adventures had a real question. I'm gonna ask that one pretty quick. But yeah, jump rocket is gonna be the key. If you get good at that, you'll be fine. Yep.
Okay.
So tap B and then tap A. So it's 7 frames. So you have roughly, a 1/10 of a second for that tap. So tap B and then in the air, tap A. Yeah, so if you find yourself squatting or shooting bullets, it's
too
'cause
long.
You, pressed it too hard.
Okay.
Like you can just tap it.
Duh.
Yep. And keep going through that door right there. All right, Miss Adventures has a question. What about identifying certain cognitive issues by analyzing speech slash writing patterns? For example, looking how people interact with large language models for signs of schizophrenic thinking. Ooh, that's interesting.
Oh.
An interactive diagnosis via chatbot.
Yeah.
So you're gonna shoot these guys wearing black with bullets. So hold A.
Hold A.
A, yep.
Okay. Oh, what did I get?
That's cocaine. That's the blue card. Get the
okay.
blue card. Go through the door. That was actually a really good drop. That's RNG. It's a 1 in 8 chance you got that blue card. You got it 2. So you beat the odds. You're flying.
Great. So using speech or writing to diagnose something like schizophrenia.
I mean, to some extent, that's what a
question. Yeah.
psychologist is doing. Right?
Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
automatizing them.
It's both it's a little bit of a scary thought to sort of develop a model of disordered speech that you could accurately or validly diagnose something like schizophrenia with.
Oh man, we have a former guest checking into the stream right now. First time chat from NarC. So tap B and you're gonna jump in that car.
Nice.
Tap B.
Tap.
So gentle.
Okay,
Yep. Stay at the bottom. You're gonna
think
run
my-
into stuff, and that happens.
Woo.
Going right.
My tap versus press is
So NarC, psych/NarC champ checking in. Best of luck, Tahila.
oh gosh, okay.
I think I know who this is,
who
but
that
I'm not
might
going to
be.
identify him. And I can tell you his time, actually. He is, I think he's still no, he's second fastest. We had a linguistics professor that got it in 12:14. Our highest psychology rank, I think, on the list is 15 minutes and 31 seconds.
Wow.
So thanks for stopping by. Welcome back to the stream. If you have questions for Tahila while she answers questions, feel free to throw those
Do I
in
get in
chat.
this helicopter? No, oh, it just shoots at me.
Just
Okay,
keep walking
great.
right. But you'll get in a car again later on, so we can get through a whole bunch of things.
This has been kind of the theme of a lot of the games tonight.
I mean, you're into ultra-violence.
Walking right, and walking right and ultra-violence.
A little bit of rage.
Rage and walking right.
What's fun is our theme last stream was actually characters named Pinky.
Yeah. Yes.
Pinky from Pac-Man.
Pinky and then
showed up
Oregon
in
Trail.
Oregon Trail, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a formative experience. Yeah, it changes you as a person. It really does.
NARC.
Yes, the game. I
Yeah.
don't know. It's something else, but yeah, NeuroNarc. Welcome back. If you're not following, click the follow button. Even if you never log in again, you should absolutely do so. We're at 990 followers. We are 10 away from breaking 1,000.
That's awesome.
Making progress towards that goal.
How long have you been doing this for?
Oh
Man, gosh.
So it's only every 2 weeks, 112 streams. So that's, I mean, it's over 3 years for sure, because we take breaks here and there. But it's been awesome. I've met so many people across campus, just different areas, departments. Yeah, I wouldn't trade it for anything. It's especially like, I mean, you work in a very different area than I do. So I learned so much during the stream, the conversation. And I try a whole lot of different drinks. Did a White Russian 2 weeks ago. Stay on the bottom, then go up to the white line on top.
Okay.
And then there's you get a wall coming up, and you don't really have a choice. Unless you memorize the pattern, you're kind of screwed on the driving. And you didn't look into this at all. Yep, tap jump.
There you go.
Over the hill.
Yeah. No, I didn't. I wanted to be surprised.
And are you surprised?
Yeah.
All right.
Very pleasantly.
I am going to pop up our last prediction of the stream, because we have 20 minutes left, and you're actually flying through this. I have a feeling you're gonna have a reasonably good time assuming the jump rocket. You might want to practice the jump rocket.
Yeah, I was thinking about it. I feel like jumping. That's a jump bullet.
And you can keep doing it as you walk forward.
Oh, I can walk forward. And,
Yeah. So you don't have to waste time.
So when am I like? Am I supposed? Is it like? Oh, is that it?
Hard. No.
No.
So tap A. Just try to go down into that car. Stay on the bottom. Go all the way to the right.
Oh.
Ooh, is there anything you both collaborate on in your fields to understand each more informatively? Chemistry of the brain, etc. No, we have never collaborated. I don't know what that would look like. There are like, I don't know if you guys use like contrasting agents or labeling agents or anything like that for MRI. Probably not in the brain.
You can use like PET imaging to study some of the things we're interested in. PET imaging, I think, would actually be interesting to study in kids with MRI, but
do they do functional
not really.
PET, or is that primarily a static? And I guess you could, as long as you can time resolve it.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
All right, keep going.
Okay. Trying to practice. I feel like it's the part of.
Yeah, you're pressing the A button a little too hard or too long. So gentle tap. So you're gonna go through that door right there.
Adult
This
books.
one right here, this door.
Last one. Oh no. Oh no.
Go right.
How do I get out? Oh my. This is terrible. Oh no.
Go right. It's all the way to
this.
the
No. Oh wow.
Welcome to your nightmares.
That is actually. I hate clowns.
Most people do.
Yeah.
All right, go. No. Oh, now you're back in the clowns.
No.
So you're gonna go up the door,
I'm ruining
but
my
don't press
time.
too much up.
Okay.
Go right.
Okay.
You can jump over or rocket them. So you're gonna press up to get through the door, but don't keep pressing up.
I see where I'm going wrong. No, get out of my way.
There you
Okay.
go. Perfect. All right, go right. This door right here. There's going to be a gray card, and then you're going to go out to the right, gray card. All right. I'm going to put up a prediction right now. You guys got 2 minutes to answer this question. Words are typically processed on which side of the brain? The left or the right side of the brain?
That again.
Answer that question. Yeah, same thing.
Gotta be
So you got the
gentle.
card.
Yeah.
Get out the door, but not too much, and then you're going to go left and go through the card slot thing.
Okay.
The answer was in front of you all along. Words are typically processed on the which side of the brain? Left or right side of the brain? Note, you're on Ask a Scientist
This
Gaming
one,
Honor
right?
Policy. You cannot look up the answer, just decide based on what our conversation was tonight. We learned Cuddle Puppy's left side of the brain is swollen. Does that help him interpret words or not?
What is your word recognition like?
Exactly. Did the psychologist do that test on you? So let me see. We got
Okay.
oh, geez,
Go in
what
here?
happened there? Yep.
Okay.
And you're gonna go left on this case.
Left,
Left,
like
yep,
walk
that-
left?
yep,
Oh,
that
wow.
direction.
That's
This
a whole
is the only
new
level.
thing.
I know it throws us for a loop.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
That's-
And you're gonna shoot the Rambo-looking guys with bullets. So you're gonna
Okay.
hold A when they get close. Shoot them with a bullet. Yep. So hold A. You're tapping. That's rockets. So
Oh.
hold the A button.
Right. Hold.
Yep.
Oh.
There we go. So kill the guy wearing white.
Oh.
And the Rambo guy will come back. There you go, green card. That's
Nice.
a good drop. Another good one. Nice. All right.
Got the narc look.
Leah 000 Fermi. So I was talking with my friend earlier, and we concluded that plants had adapted their loveliness to make insects interested in them for pollination. So a plant has no brain. It can have only got there through trial and error. Does the same apply to human brains? As in, have they changed due to trial and error? I don't know if I understand the question.
Yeah.
So plants don't have brains. It can only have gotten there through trial and error. Does the same apply to human brains? I apologize. I don't know if I understand the question. Like, what aspect of that apply to what aspect of that applies to you? So you're gonna go right.
Yeah.
There you go.
Getting distracted. Woo.
Top trike. I'm just fascinated by chemical interactions in the brain and what might affect the different areas. Like something like chemistry may be able to decipher something, the neuroscience, and so on and so forth. I mean, that's
Yeah.
a really exciting area, right? Like treating PTSD and stuff with like, mushrooms or LSD or, ecstasy. That's a,
Yeah.
I mean, that's becoming increasingly accepted as a respected area of research, right? And
Yeah, definitely.
as an outsider looking in, that's how I interpret it, at least.
Yeah, I mean, we there are ways to image certain neurotransmitters, magnetic resonance spectroscopy. The challenge with that right now is that you can do it over so when we measure the brain, we're measuring
So you have this card. Go ahead and touch that.
nice things on the scale of like our measurement in terms of spatially are a couple of millimeters, and it's like 10 times that when we do the spectroscopy imaging. So we can get like a measurement of different neurotransmitters, but it's much like we're covering a much bigger area of the brain with each measurement. So we it's harder to localize, but I think they're developing sequences that are
Have that card. Go
Yeah,
ahead and touch it.
more precise and like more spatially precise. So that's, I think, a really exciting area. And it's something we, I think, are hoping to get set up to do here.
Right.
Yeah, I know. I just the rage in me. The rage. Yeah.
Not
I just-
intervene.
No, you should
you
please
need this.
do.
No, you need this.
I just keep. No, I've
It's for,
Kill-
for
do I have
everyone.
this card?
Get the right. Yep, you have all these cards
Oh,
until
good.
the last one.
all right.
All right. Kamikazu asks, what's a stereotype about your field or people in your field that is/isn't true? Ooh.
People in my field.
Is there a stereotype? That's interesting.
I think there's maybe a stereotype that we like really, I don't know. I was gonna say that we like kids, but
I mean,
I guess I can't speak for everyone.
We saw it
Yeah.
inside. That's clearly not true. The trank darts. Oh,
Yeah.
Man, now I either have to play inside or you have to tell me how it ends up, because
Yeah.
that is intriguing.
Oh, Inside. I've seen Inside Out. Yes, yeah. No, I killed that little boy over and over again. Do I have this or no?
No, you don't. So
Okay.
what you're going to do is kill the guys on the screen, and then there's a
Steve?
guy that's going to come out, which is a boss, and you're going to have to shoot him with rockets.
Oh, this is
So
what's happening now.
Practice
Okay.
rockets. This isn't the
Okay.
jump shot yet. It's him. So you're going to tap A. No, you don't have to jump on this one.
Okay.
Just rockets. Yep, there you go. So you're going to shoot him with rockets. So if you're getting bullets because you're pushing a little too hard, and one technique people do is put it down on the table and do like a
okay.
piano tab. There. Yep. So kill everything on screen. He's gonna come back. It's a really gentle, like you don't have to push
Yeah.
it down all the way. It's like
Yeah.
a staccato moment. But yeah,
Okay,
last minute
okay.
questions.
Helpful.
Leah000 for me, is intelligence, as we call it in human terms, an emergent property, or is it just a clever adaptation? Emergent property or clever? Are those two exclusive things? I think
yeah.
those are overlapping Venn components. I don't think it's an or. I mean, how do you
agree
feel
with that,
about it?
yeah.
I mean, emergence is a word that's thrown around a lot, but it accurately describes a lot of things. Go back.
Oh,
this
yeah,
way.
yeah,
Back. Yeah, so what I do is get up in the middle here and just shoot rockets everywhere. Eventually, you're going to hit him. 'cause
Not get
he's-
eaten by dogs.
Yes, exactly. You can shoot
Oh,
the
wait.
dogs too. So turn around and tap a rocket. There you go. Nice. So yeah, kill those guys. Bullets or rockets will get the job done. There you go. Now you're getting the rocket rhythm.
I think so, yeah. The tapping on the table really helps.
Nice.
Is this guy in a wheelchair?
Yes, he is. He's in a wheelchair. There you go. That's one. So you need
Okay.
him to do that 2 more times, and then he'll drop a gold card, and you're gonna pick up that gold card, get right through the door. I mean, I think it's accepted intelligence is an emergent property, right?
Yeah,
You
I would
assemble
say so.
individual neurons together, and somehow
Yeah.
it becomes human thought. Or is it just a clever adaptation?
Yeah, to what?
I think they mean, is intelligence emergent, or is it already a prerequisite installed in the forming of a human? Trying to think of that, because it's like it's comparing the mechanism versus the outcome. It's not
Yeah.
apples to apples. It's not a horror statement. It's describing 2 different aspects of the same problem. But if you want to clarify in chat, that would be awesome. We'll revisit the question. Tahila takes on Mr. Big.
Yeah. This is Mr. Big.
Yep, this is phase 1 of Mr. Big. Ooh, that was a close one.
Oh, rocket, right?
Yep.
Okay.
So tapping. So holding A if you want to kill these guys.
Okay.
And then tapping A if you want to kill the other one. Yeah, bullets don't do anything.
Ooh, got 2 there.
I worded it wrong. I mean, is it formed at birth, or do we form intelligence? Oh, interesting. Like, are we inherently born with it, or is it
It's just like a gene environment
After
question, really.
nature versus nurture?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
there we go.
Okay. Intelligence has a strong genetic component, very strong. But I don't. There's some environmental variance in there as well. But I think more the way we measure it, more nature.
Oh, interesting.
Nurture.
Nature matters more.
It's we'll call it like highly heritable, meaning if you measure sort of the variance that can be accounted for by genetics versus the environment.
So you can
You're gonna
shoot
need
the
more
dogs too. If you hold
yeah.
both buttons down, you'll squat and shoot. There you go.
Ooh, cool.
Sorry, I should give you that move earlier. I apologize. All right, so rocket
Okay,
that hit.
rockets. Tap, tap. Oh my god, stop chewing on me, man.
4K no los dos? Why not both? The answer is it's always both.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
There's
That is the very unsatisfying answer I give my class with everything. It's like, is it genetic or is it environment? And it's like, it's always an interaction.
and the twin studies show it over and over again.
Yeah.
It's just the ratio that changes.
Yep.
Speaking of which, the other favorite question beyond, well, my favorite question beyond the movie one is unlimited budget, no moral qualms. What would you do?
No moral qualms?
No moral
Oh,
qualms.
wow.
And so this is entirely hypothetical. And so for like Sarah Hart, the developmental psychologist, it was make quintuplets, separate them at birth, and manipulate variables. Right? So
Wow. That, yeah.
no moral qualms, unlimited budget. You could Truman show them.
I feel like is this Mr. Big?
No, keep
No,
going.
he's in the wheelchair.
Right. Yeah, you can shoot those guys. Squat. Push both buttons. These guys will go away. There he is. Okay, rocket set.
It would probably be a really well-controlled longitudinal study of the effects of different ADHD treatments.
Oh, interesting.
There's just so many questions about that, and it's just really hard to study. And we can study it over a couple of years, and there are some large cohort studies that are longitudinal, but they are naturalistic, right? So some people keep taking their medication into adulthood, some people don't, and there's all those confounds that go along with that. Oh, here you are.
There. Yes. Right there. So that's 2. You need 1 more of those hits.
Okay.
So kill the guys on
Alright.
screen. Yeah, this
Okay.
is the hardest part of the game.
Yeah.
Cuddle puppy. Alternatively, what if you had infinite qualms and an immoral budget?
So no money, and I felt guilty about everything.
I would just sit in my room and cry.
Yeah, I'd play NARC. I don't know.
There's too many moral qualms.
Yeah,
for
I guess
that.
I'm killing people. Yeah, I don't know. That sounds like I'd go see a
Go to the
psychiatrist. I
Right, we
think.
get him on the screen.
Yeah.
All right. What's your favorite psychological study, just in terms of interest or whichever you like to teach the most? Oh, that's fun. What is your case study?
Psychological study.
Oh, Cuddle Puppy clarified,
Yeah.
by the way. Immoral budget means you got funded by forcing baby koalas to do slave labor.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It's detailed. Let's kill these guys. Bullets when it's, not the wheelchair guy. So hold both buttons
Right.
and go up. All right,
Okay,
there you go,
okay.
rockets.
Oh. The tap. The
You're
tap.
stressed. You're pushing too hard when you're stressed. It's the gentle. It's just the finesse. Ooh. Leah 000 Fermi. I'd like to know which bits of the brain are activated by religion and why.
There are people who look at things like having profound religious experiences. There's a brain network. And when I say network, it's like a bunch of brain regions that kind of do the same thing together at the same time, called the default mode network. And it is it's actually really relevant in ADHD because it's related to introspection. So like,
Kill these
and
guys.
daydreaming. Okay, wait. So kill them is this.
Yeah, just hold A.
Yeah. Just
Okay, he's back.
okay.
Now it's rockets.
Tap gentle.
So
Oh,
yes.
got him.
Nice.
Wow.
All right. Now he's gonna dissolve.
Oh my
and turn
gosh,
into a gold
NeuroNarc. You did this in 15 minutes? Oh,
did.
where'd it go?
So now, yeah, you got it.
Did I
You
get it?
got
Okay,
Yep.
okay.
Go through the door. So that's phase 1 of Mr. Big. Now we are on to phase 2. So you're gonna go to the top of the screen. You busted a lot of people. That's good.
Yeah.
All right. So now you're gonna go to the top of the screen. You're gonna face right, and you have to jump rocket him in the hat.
Okay. In the hat.
In the hat. Yep. So on the
Okay.
way down. So go to the top of the screen, turn right, and jump. Tap jump. Then rocket. Yep, that was pretty close actually. So now what you're gonna do is run away
Ooh.
this way, get some distance.
What is he spitting at me?
If you want to guess,
Those tongues?
is this tongue?
Oh. Okay,
Right.
jump. No, not fast
It's
enough.
earlier on the rocket and yeah, a little gentler on the attack.
Okay. Where I'm just like, okay, gotta get away.
Catch up on things. Sorry.
Okay.
Also, if you guys have a suggestion on who we should raid, it's Wednesday night. I don't know how many streamers, preferably education streamers, but if you guys have another suggestion, we're happy to visit. We like to expand our network of people who stream on Wednesday nights. Turns out Wednesday night is not a super popular streaming night, believe it or not.
Oh.
But also, I don't want to take away your guys' Friday or Saturday or Sunday, so I think it's a nice compromise. All right, run away, do it again.
Yeah.
This is the rate limiting step for most people reading this. I'm remembering right. Chris got it like first try. I don't know if it was accidental.
Is he a NeuroNarc?
I don't know if he's NeuroNarc, but he's one of the faster times on Mr. Big.
Yeah.
So yeah, you have plenty of room. See this bar right here?
Yeah.
You have plenty of room to go that way. So you can get a good distance away from him.
Okay.
Try again.
All right.
So yeah, my general strategy is walk away, stand still, jump, shoot the rocket.
Okay. Okay.
Man, sorry, I cut you off on the unlimited budget, no moral qualms.
I think I was talking about the default mode network.
Oh, yeah, okay.
In terms of, religion. So this is a set of brain regions that is active when you're daydreaming, thinking about yourself, not really paying attention to things outside of yourself, and less active when you're, trying to kill Mr. Big or trying to read. And this is a brain network that is found to be active when you're particularly active at times when you're having these like profound experiences.
Yeah.
And
That was close. A little too hard on the A button.
okay.
Got the jump down nice, though.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Speaking of complexity, Leo Oz 00 Fermi wants to know, how can an object like a firefly exhibit so much behaviors when its brain is so tiny?
I don't know. I mean, I think it doesn't do, like, the behaviors probably are more reflexive than anything.
Let's stop there. It might be worth trying just a couple A taps to get the rocket out.
Oh,
There you go.
okay.
Give you the feel of it at least.
Okay.
Let me get some distance. And if you
Okay.
get sick of it, I'm happy to intervene. Because it is 11 o'clock and I don't want to keep you
Yeah.
up too long. It's entirely up to you.
I feel like I kind of got to do it,
Yeah, no, I respect that entirely. I just want to give you the out if you want it. But yeah, last minute questions. Also, anyone who we should raid, put it in chat. NeuroNarc, who's the narc now? Absolutely. Shark G33K. I don't know if we visited Shark. Let me.
Okay,
No,
that seems to be.
search.
We're breaking your.
Oh no, do it. No, I have plenty of Nintendo controllers.
It's like flicking seemed to work.
That's fun. Content creation for shark conservation. Wow, that is fun. Yeah, let's check out some shark. I'm not even following shark. Adventures, thank you. I'm glad you
Oh,
keep
did I
track.
get Oh, I did it.
Very close. Not quite.
Does he have to be on screen?
Yes, he does. His glasses will fall off when you get it.
Okay. Okay. So I have to like see him.
Wow, that's fun. So this streamer, Shark G33K, Shark Geek is what we do phonetically, is a shark conservation advocate and does shark dives with 360 recorded video,
Wow.
which is fun to stream on.
They stream
Twitch.
that?
Yeah. Oh, there it is.
Wow.
So he's
That
showing
looks
videos
amazing.
from his recordings apparently.
He's on your stream right now.
No,
Uh-oh.
he's doing his own stream, but we'll bring our viewers over to him after we're done here, because it's like a social networking thing.
You like kind of drop them off somewhere.
Yep, exactly.
That's cool.
It's just, yeah, you visit them and they give you a shout out, and maybe you get some new followers and viewers from the communication. So yeah, awesome suggested misadventures, and they're from Florida, which is kind of fun.
All right. I don't know.
Wow, Leah's. In an ideal world, would you ban mobile devices for under 18-year-olds on the basis of the damage it does to their teeth?
Ooh.
Real world around
Wow. What a question to end the night
Take a
with.
stance right now.
Ban mobile devices like
Wow.
cell phones.
Yeah, for kids. Man, I saw this like YouTube video that showed a kid playing a game with one hand and just flipping through like TikTok with the other.
Yeah.
And the parents were just laughing, and I was like crying inside. I get it.
I think.
Okay, so now it's a good time to stop.
Yeah.
Wait for him. So tap, John. Yep, a little later on that A button. As you're coming down, the real timing was pretty good, but it was a bullet.
Just a few more minutes. I think yes. I think I would. I think if it's banned for everyone, then yeah.
And it's fair across the board.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know that I would ban like screens entirely or any digital technologies, but like a cell phone. Yeah, I think so.
I mean, banning it in school for sure, I think is a really good idea.
Yeah.
I'm glad that's being adopted more. What's your policy? Do you have issues with students' cell phone in your class?
Oh, they're on it all the time. What do you do?
I don't do anything.
Yeah.
I accept that's the reality.
Yeah,
'cause,
me too.
like,
I mean,
I go to
that would be-
seminar and
that would be all
sometimes I'm on my phone, right?
Yeah.
Like, I get it. Misadventures, they've talked about streaming it, but you'd have to run cables to live stream it, and there's concern that sharks might nibble and tangle the cord. I see. So they're just streaming videos,
okay,
not live
okay.
streaming sharks.
yeah, still really cool.
Oh, Mike, we should ban guns before phones. Oof.
Yeah.
You guys are opening a can of worms
Yeah.
that we will be on YouTube forever. Oh man, I don't know. We diverged down this route, but here we go.
All right. You might have to kill him.
I'll get you to the next phase. So yeah, it's just like I don't push it down all the way. Like I think that's one of the keys. You don't need to push it down all the way. So that's the rocket pad.
Wow.
And fun factoid for you and anyone just joining the stream. So this started out as a joke, me playing it because I played it as a kid. And then I started to commit, and it became a challenge to speedrun this game, beat it as fast as possible. And I figured out the trick on Mr. Big, how to do it faster. And for about a year, I was the world record holder in this game. So
How do I get out? Do I just shoot him now?
So now you can shoot him with rockets. Sorry, I didn't go through the rest of it. So
Just regular rockets.
Yep.
Okay. So for you were the like record holder?
yes, the
Wow.
world's best NARC speedrunner for a period of time.
What's
There
your?
we go. So go down. You're gonna go between these black lines. Go that way. Between those two black lines. Run that way. Run away from them. You're gonna turn around and you're gonna shoot bullets at them. So holding A. No more rockets. So turn around, shoot bullets.
Oh, that's.
There you go. Run away. There you go. You got two of the vertebrae. You're gonna keep doing that.
Oh, gotcha. Oh god. What was your? Did you already say what your time was?
No, my time was 9 minutes and 7 seconds. So that's my personal best. And then I did a tutorial video, which you can find on YouTube, and the former world record took back their record from me. Beat me by 3 seconds.
Because you made your.
Yeah, I talked to him. I told him the video was up, so I gave him the hints. So go down a little further. Yeah, there you go. And bullets will hit him. There you go. All right, 2 more. So get a little bit of distance. Perfect. Go right. There we go. Mr. Big. We've blown him up. Congratulations.
Wow.
GG's. you're all right? Did the rage? You got the rage out?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
All right, last level
I
of
feel
the game.
very calm.
You have civil forfeiture the level.
Ooh, I'm just picking up
Nope,
money.
speed strats.
Oh, okay,
Just go
okay.
right. You can do it for points, but congratulations, you beat Mr. Big. You won the war
Yeah.
on drugs. We could have saved trillions of dollars. I assisted.
You assisted.
All right, hit the gold card. 33:27. Not bad. So world record's 9:07. Fastest streamer guest was 9 minutes and 30 seconds. Chris
Oh,
was
wow,
at
that's
like
really
15 minutes and 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When Chris played, I watched some of his stream and he was playing. I don't remember the name of the game, but it was very fast, and I was like, wow, it's impressive that he can. It's like Metroid Dread.
Yeah, I think it was Metroid. Yeah,
Metroid, yeah.
I think that's what he was playing on screen.
So I was, he seemed like he was good doing these things fast. Good at the gaming.
Yeah, he was good. Yeah. Did well. All right, initials.
Oh,
You get to immortalize yourself until I turn off this computer.
nice.
It'll reset just like the arcade games do.
All right.
Oh no, Shark Geek is no longer streaming. If anyone has suggestions on people we should raid, put those in chat. We'll figure it out.
The highest NARC.
Congratulations. Won the war on drugs. Don't you remember the 80s? That's exactly what it was like. Anyway, thank you for joining me. We did win the game. We won the war on drugs. We got to play Streets of Rage 2. We got to play Inside. What else did we do?
Simpsons Road Rage. Lots of rage.
Lots of rage tonight. We got it
Lots of
out.
streets.
Hoodles is on streaming. But Tahila, again, thank you very much for joining me. It's been a lot of fun. 3 hours flies by like nothing. It's always good, and hopefully you had a good nostalgia kick. But also,
Oh yeah, this has been a blast.
you got to experience some new games. And chat, thank you as always for the questions. It was amazing. Tahila, do you have any parting words for the audience? Anything you want to share or say, or words of wisdom you'd like to impart?
Take care of your brain and take care of your kids' brains. Make sure they get sleep and wear helmets.
Exactly. Maybe start school later. We're not in charge, but we discussed that as well.
That would be cool too.
All right, everyone. Thank you again. Anyone joining us for the first time, we stream every 2 weeks. You guys can check out the schedule under About Us on the Twitch page. You can also join our Discord and our Twitter account where we send out notifications. But yeah, our next guest in 2 weeks is actually me, which is fun. I get to once a year, I'm the guest on the stream, and then I have someone host it. And in this particular stream, it's because I'm in charge of the graduate admissions part of our chemistry department. And so what we do is a Q&A, anything you want to know about grad school applications, picking research groups, picking programs, the admissions process, anything you want to know, swing by and ask those questions during that stream while I'll be playing at least NARC. I don't know what else I'm going to do. Maybe some Halo, maybe some, yeah. I don't know. I haven't actually thought about it yet, but we're going to figure it out. And also Eugene DePrince, he's our associate chair of graduate studies. And so he's going to be the host while I'm the guest. And so he's going to be the one facilitating questions, but also he's promised to learn how to play NARC. And we're going to try to go after a 2-player record in NARC.
Wow.
So 2 weeks from now, mark your calendars. We'll talk about graduate school and probably play some 2-player NARC, but until then, it's been a pleasure. Tahila, again, thank you again. And this, I like the drink, the Campari. That was nice. That was, it was a really fun
I'm glad you
choice.
enjoyed it.
And so, yeah, thank you all for your questions. Stick around. We're going to figure out somebody to raid. I think Mahoodles is on. But yeah, it's always a pleasure. You guys make it an awesome experience. So drinking, gaming, answering, talking science is always a great time. So thank you all
for all
very
the
much.
questions.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you for the predictions. They went over well. Some they got perfect, others not so much, but yeah, it's always a pleasure. All right, hopefully I'll see you guys in 2 weeks, and if so, we'll see you guys then.